Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is, breaking down last night's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13, episode 6 episode, and just what is the state of the show and the series, we're going to get into it. I think the series. Well, let me put it this way. I think the season itself is finally heating up, and I'm here for it. But before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So let's go. So I think that, like I just said, I think that the season is finally starting to heat up. I think we're getting more of a vibe and less bitter Bettys running around, lying and deflecting and projecting about their lives. I think now we're really going to get into it. I do think this might be a Kyle takedown season where they think, and by they, I mean Kyle and Ding Dong Dorit, they think they're taking, and Erica, they think they're taking down Sutton. But I think it's going to backfire because I think Sutton is emerging as a fan favorite. She might even be more well liked than Garcelle at this point. But I'm going to get into that and how I'm really happy that they're back to being their iconic duo. But I'm living for Sutton this season. I think it's going to be a Kyle takedown season, and I feel like it's finally starting to heat up. So this episode, we got introduced to Morgan. We got to meet her, and I'll share my thoughts on that. Annemarie was also introduced, and I kind of feel like, are they already editing her out? Like, she didn't really have that much of a presence for her debut episode. Maybe more going down the line. And we also saw sort of her storyline being teased, but we'll get more into that when we get to her slide. And then also, I am obsessed with this wild and messy return of the OGs and Icon dinner. Denise Richards and Camille Grammer. Like, I'm here for the mess. Okay. But let's dive in. And as you guys come in, my beautiful candy canes, be sure to say hi in the chat box. Say hi, where you're listening from. Drop your candy canes questions and comments. And let's get it lit. Let's just have some fun. Hey, Deb. Hey, April. Hey, everybody. All right, let's go. Oof. All right. So, Miss Kyle Richards. First of all, Kyle saying that Sutton seems off is a bit of a reach considering her own behavior. Kyle has been spiraling. She's been all over the place, midlife crisis city. And it just seems very hypocritical that she's trying to project everything that she's going through on to Sutton. Do you know what I mean? Because number one, she's like, oh, Sutton's drinking too much. But Kyle was the one who clearly had an issue with her own drinking, which is why she stopped. And that's no shade. I think that if you realize alcohol is not working well for you in your life, I think the best thing to do is to stop, take a break, whether that's being sober for your life or just being sober for a moment. I think that's the best thing to do. But like Crystal said, just because you've stopped drinking, it doesn't put you on any type of moral or self-righteous high ground to then try and shame and out other people for their drinking habits. And I don't think Sutton's a drunk. I don't think she drinks too much or anything like that. I think Kyle is just, I think for everybody on the cast, other than Crystal, because she's going to get Annemarie to do her dirty work there, I think that Kyle feels like the person she can lash out to the most is Sutton, and I think that's why she's taking everything out on her. And then Kyle is also pissed that Sutton was insinuating about all of the rumors going on about her. You know what I mean? So there is that. And then also Kyle throwing shots at Sutton regarding, disordered eating. Again, Kyle, deflecting her own issues onto Sutton. Do I think Sutton has disordered eating? I never noticed that. Yeah, she's really thin and she used to be a ballerina. She kind of has bony legs, but Sutton seems like that's just what her body is like. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Kyle has already admitted that in the past she did suffer from, disordered eating, and she has lost a lot of weight, whether it's Ozempic, whether it's restricting calories, whether it's over exercising. She has lost a lot of weight in a very short amount of time, and she has been sort of hyper focused on weight loss and over exercising and eating. So again, everything that's going on in her life, she's projecting onto Sutton. All of a sudden, you want to say that Sutton has, disordered eating. Where the hell did that come from? Girl, bye. Please have several seats and shut the hell up, okay? Yikes. Okay. I did a video on this, but I think it bears repeating. So Kyle and Dorit, I think the whole Sutton is a drinker conversation, to me, that was nothing but a faux Fox 5 standard me girls planted conversation. You know what I mean? The whole, well, Sutton's a drinker, and Dorit chiming in, oh yeah, and blah, blah, blah. It was so staged and scripted and fake and phony. It was so obvious. They're not concerned for Sutton. They're just trying to deflect from their own lives. Dorit's trying to deflect from the fact that her and PK are broke as a joke, living separate lives. Kyle's trying to deflect from the fact that there's cheating rumors on both sides of her marriage, her cheating rumors and his. And Mauricio has about $32 million in lawsuits left and right, back and forth, all over the frickin' place. But yet you want to have a conversation that you're concerned about Sutton when Sutton is living the life. Girl, bye. You wish you could. Ugh. Anyway, Mauricio. And then let's talk about Mauricio. Then I'm going to talk about Kyle and Morgan. I actually, and I'm going to compartmentalize this when it comes to Mauricio, because I don't like Mauricio when it comes to his shady business practices. I do believe the blogs. I do believe the stories. In my opinion, I do think he is a fraud. I think he totally snaked Rick Hilton, and I think that he totally snaked his real estate clients and the US government, and I totally believe everything that's being said in the lawsuits about him. So when it comes to that, Mauricio can kick rocks, okay? Because I think when you steal from people, you need to go to jail. But that aside, I'm going to put that in a little compartment over here. When it comes to Mauricio and Kyle and in their marriage, I feel bad for him. I feel like he looks scared. He looks like he looks hopeless and scared when it comes to Kyle. He looks like he doesn't recognize his wife. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. And he just looks on edge every time Kyle is around. And I just feel really bad for him because I do think in his mind, he actually has no idea what the hell is wrong with Kyle. I think he totally doesn't understand what is going on with her. And to be fair, I don't think that she is actually communicating to him in any effective way exactly what her problem is. Acting out and thinking that people are going to magically read your mind doesn't work. That's why I'm so surprised and shocked that they're not in couples therapy. They need a truly good professional couples therapist to help them work through all of this if they actually want to stay together, right? Because getting tattoos, running around with your lesbian friend, losing a bunch of weight, being really mean to him isn't translating in his man head that, hold on one second, you guys. Sorry about that, guys. And we're back. So sorry about that. All right, where were we? So Mauricio just looks really scared and on edge every time Kyle is around. And I feel really, really bad for him. Like, obviously, they're not having sex, and he obviously doesn't understand what is actually going on in her mind and in their marriage. She's just acting out, right? So that's kind of what I feel about that situation. Now, when Kyle and Morgan, that scene, insane. Absolutely insane to me. Number one, I think that they're very, very weird together. I don't actually think that they are together as a couple. In my personal opinion, I think they have zero sexual chemistry. I don't think that they're having sex. I don't think it's a sexual situation at all. Morgan looks extremely uncomfortable around Kyle. And I stand by the fact that I think that it's just a publicity stunt by her team. I think that Morgan's team saw that Kyle was I think that Morgan's team saw that Kyle was this, Real Housewives, a Beverly Hills star. She's on Bravo and all of that stuff. And I think they saw it as an opportunity to raise Morgan's profile, which is clearly what we saw happened. Number one, we saw it happen with her social media following. Number two, the fact that we're even talking about her, and number three, now they're doing Kyle is doing a documentary on Morgan and everything else, right? So this is what I think is happening. I think that her team was like, hey, let's ride this so the wheels fall off, do photo ops with her, go to events with her, be seen with her, be tagged with her, all of this stuff, right? And I think that they wanted to get the money and to get the fame. And to me, Morgan kind of cringes every time Kyle looks at her or touches her. Like, she said that Kyle stalked her. It was just very weird. She said that Kyle was going through a midlife crisis. And then every time, if you notice, Kyle says that we're friends, Morgan kind of looks like you're crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's just like this lesbian relationship. I think that Morgan saw an opportunity and she's sort of gritting her teeth through it, right? Getting the tattoo on camera again, that was just unhinged, attention seeking behavior. And I don't think that Morgan actually even likes Kyle as a person. Like, I really, really don't. I really don't. And like her and like the tattoo artist were kind of like sharing exchanges and looks and sort of like just being really weird about everything. So that's kind of where I land with them on this, right? Now, Kyle was gagged. I mean, gagged at the dinner table when Garcelle and Sutton came for her marriage, her cheating rumors, and the fact that she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. She was deflecting with, who bought the ring rather than if there's something actually going on in her marriage. She was gagged. She didn't even know what to say. And then she also started to crack at the very, very end. And then she admitted that she couldn't afford to be depressed right now. And I think that once she starts to open up about why she's not drinking and really what's going on, I think that the girls will be able to be there for her in a more authentic and real way. Do you know what I mean? Other than just the rumor mill and, all that stuff and what's going on with you and blah, 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 blah. So I do think the more that Kyle is honest and real and opens up, we'll see different dynamics with the women. But just like Sutton said, as long as you're not being real, as long as you're not telling the truth, as long as, you're going around the bush with things, we can't really be there for you because you're not being real and you're not being authentic. Okay. Now let's move on to Miss Sutton. So Sutton, all right. So I love that Sutton's outfit at her dinner party with Garcelle. I loved her outfit. I just wanted to put that on here because I absolutely loved it. Like the glasses were cute and like the cute little like camel leather top. I just loved it. Anyway, that was just a little tidbit. All right, let's get back to it. So I do agree that Erica definitely planned the elevator scene with her friends against Sutton. They brought that up again. Both Sutton and Garcelle did. And then also Kyle did as well, saying, kind of like trying to mock, Sutton and everything. But I do think that Erica planned it because it was in a penthouse. And if you're in a penthouse, you definitely need one a code or you need a pass key. You know what I mean? So I definitely do think that she planned it. I mean, it was obvious. Okay. Now, Sutton, I am living for her, okay? I'm obsessed with how she called out Kyle for not wearing her wedding ring. And I love that she came with the mess about Mauricio cheating and the marriage rumors, but she did it in such a slick way that she kept being like, well, what's going on with you, Kyle? Well, what's going on with you? What are you talking about? Well, what do you mean? You know, it was this way of like, I know it, I know it, I know it. And she just kept poking and poking Kyle to Kyle almost just like blew up. You know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't handle it, and I loved it. Also, this season, Sutton in this episode, Sutton was the shade assassin. She's like, well, maybe I need to not being picky. You know, Dorit fell in love with PK. I also love how she clowned Annemarie's dress, and I also love how she was like, Kyle, well, she's in denial about something. And then she also said, my husband is very powerful globally. We're not talking about selling houses. Like, she had the most iconic, shady one-liners throughout the entire episode. She carried it literally on her back. It was amazing. I also loved seeing her dating life and her being very vulnerable about wanting to find love and taking us in on that journey with her. So I love seeing that because we kind of get to see all of Sutton's life. You know, she talks about her children. She talks about her ex. She's talking about finding love. She has, you know, really quirky moments with her friend Jennifer Tilly and buying horses. Like, Sutton, if you think about it, is one of the very few housewives who actually shows us her entire life. She talks about her, you know, Sutton boutique, which every season she still has. She's not a one-hit wonder where every season it's a new brand. She's consistent. This is my boutique and I still have it and it's running, and every season this is the one thing I'm doing. So I absolutely love Sutton. You know, she brings us into every single aspect of her life. Next is where am I? Okay, Sutton opening up about her husband moving to London. Okay, to me, that was such an iconic vibe. And Kyle, girl, I need you to shut the hell up and sit all the way down because you're nothing but a Debbie Downer and you're just jealous. What is more iconic of a vibe than a housewife being like, well, my ex-husband's moving to London. And he just told me I had to go with him. But then my son too. But what if my son wanted to go? But guess what? My son doesn't want to go, and I'm going to get more money. Like, that is the vibe we want of a housewife. We want the opulent ridiculousness of it all. Your ex-husband is running a trillion-billion-dollar company. He's moving to London. You're worried about the kid being whisked off to London, but it turns out it just means a bigger paycheck for you and child support. That to me is such a slay. That is such a vibe. And that's the type of stuff I want them to be talking about. I want her to be distraught over that. Very similar to how I wanted, what's her name? I wanted Lisa Barlow to be distraught over the $60,000 ring that she lost. Like, those are the vibes of a real housewife. You're distraught over the $60,000 ring you lost. You're distraught that the ex is going to London and your lad might have to go with him, but you're going to get more in child support. You know what I mean? When you're already making $350,000 a month in alimony. Like, that's the vibe. I would so much more rather have these types of conversations, these fun, ridiculous, over the top, opulent conversations than ones about, you know, Kyle going to get a tattoo with Morgan. Like, what? Get off my screen. Go find a therapist and work on your mental health. Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's bizarre to me. To me, it was a complete vibe. She's talking about more money and she's flexing on it, right? And then Sutton was right. You know, Kyle was 100% deflecting from her own life. And then she was also very belittling to Sutton about what Sutton was going through. You know, Kyle was basically putting her down when she was talking about getting the money and everything, and then trying to say that she has disordered eating now and trying to say she has a drinking problem. Like, girl, bye all of the way. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yikes. All right, now let's move on to Queen Garcelle. So Garcelle is 100% correct that Sutton hit a nerve when she called out Kyle's drastic life changes, okay? Drastic, drastic, drastic. 100%. She was also the sadist fashion. After Dorit's robbery, she still had her jewelry. Classic one-liner, amazing shade. I was 100% here for it, and I loved it, okay? Garcelle hang out with Jax is cute, and I like it. But like I said before, we were talking about Salt Lake City before, and I stand by that with all of the housewives and their children. Your child can be a scene, a storyline for 1 to 3 scenes, a max a season. Other than that, wrap it up. Wrap it up. I don't want to see Garcelle date her children. If every scene you're in, it's with your sons, you're dating. Like the same way I don't want to see Lisa Barlow date her son Jack, where every scene it's Jack's mission, blah, blah, blah. Garcelle, I get it. And I'm happy that you're being vulnerable about your relationship with your children and all of that stuff. But I don't need every scene with you that's not with Sutton with your children. Like, you got to give something else. I've said this, and it's not just about Jax and not just about Garcelle. I mean this across all of the housewives. You need to not make your children your core storyline. That's just my opinion. Like, it's enough. It's enough. I get it. He's a sensitive teen. Who isn't a sensitive teen? We got it. We got it. You can have those beats and you can have those moments, but it's enough. Okay? It's enough. Now, what I did like that she was opening up about, and maybe it shouldn't have been with her son, maybe it should have been with an adult for the show, about the ex cheating. Like, I would have loved to her have that conversation with Sutton or with Crystal, even with Kyle, talking about what she went through when her husband cheated on her and the demise of her marriage and dealing with parenting in that way. I want to have the adult woman-to-woman conversations about it. I don't want to always have these conversations with your children. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would just be very different if she was like, Kyle, it seems like you're going through stuff. When my husband cheated on me, this is how I felt. It was very public. So, if you need support, I'm here to talk to you. Like, that to me would be much more of a vibe than let's have, parent-child therapy sessions every other scene. I'm tired of it. Wrap it up. Okay. Like I said before, I would love to see more of Garcelle's personal life, because we see a lot of her business life. She produces and she's acting. We got it. The mom stuff ad nauseum. But I do kind of want to see more of her personal life. Like, I want to see her hanging out with other friends, like how Sutton has Jennifer Tilly, how Kyle has Faye. I want to see maybe some of her other friends coming around, and like, what does she do in the off time? Maybe seeing her shopping, maybe seeing her going on a date, or having a real conversation of why she's not dating. Because a part of being a real housewife is your love life. Your love life is a core part of that, right? They want to see you dating. They want to see you having your relationship. They want to see you separating. They want to see you divorcing. They want to see whatever it is. That's a core part of being a woman, is your love life. Or you need to explain why you don't have one. Just like Sutton said, you're clowning me for not getting a second date, but Garcelle, you don't have a first one. So I want to see more of that from her as well. Now, Garcelle was a queen, though. She definitely had a queen moment when at the table at the dinner, they said, "What's going on in your marriage?" And Erica was like, "Really?" And Garcelle was like, "Yes." She was like, she's like, "You have a new wedding band and no wedding ring." Like, she threw all of the shots at Kyle and Erica, and I was 110% absolutely living for it. She left no crumbs and she gathered all of the edges. I love that she talked about the makeup gift after cheating. Like, that's exactly what I mean. Like, have those conversations about what happened to you when your husband cheated on you, what happened to you in your marriage with your adult friends, because that's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. And then that was a moment. And then everybody else was like, "Oh, I got a car when he cheated. Oh, I got, jewelry when he cheated. Oh, I got a house when my husband cheated," and like, that became a moment, that became a beat. Now, also, I would love to see Sutton and Garcelle. And like, this is why Sutton and Garcelle are such an iconic duo, because they really set that up for the 1-2 punch. Sutton was just like, "What's going on, Kyle? Don't you want to talk about what's going on with you?" And Kyle's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And Garcelle was like, and 2, punch. What's going on in your marriage? Knockout. Kyle was gagging. She had no words. Erica was gagging. Really? Yes, really. Because this is the show. And this is the thing. If it was anybody else's marriage, Kyle would be the number one person at that table being like, we need to talk about it. We have to talk about it. We have to be honest. You got to tell the truth. Kyle would be the number one person trying to make everybody else talk about what's going on in their life, talk about what's going on in their marriage. She would be the number one person stirring the pot like she's always been. But then when it comes to her life, and then when it comes to what's going on with her, she has nothing to say. You see what I'm saying? She has nothing to say. So, Kyle, shut up. Girl, bye. All right. Whew. Now, let's move on to Ding Dong Dorit. So, Dorit talking about having a business manager to curb her spending is 1000% laughable. Absolutely laughable. 1000% laughable. You know what I'm saying? It's just absolutely crazy, absolutely insane. Like, girl, you're broke. You know, word on the curb. And this isn't me coming from this. Just Google the stuff. All of the articles are there. You're broke. You're broke. So talking about having a business manager to curb your spending, you mean to curb your thieving? Doing insurance scams for money? Taking out $10,000 for Christmas gifts when you're Jewish? Girl, bye. Stop lying. Stop lying. I mean, it's just absolutely laughable. Now, Dorit coming for Sutton during the matchmaking session, that wasn't very self-aware, you hypocritical person. She made the situation so awkward. She was extremely rude. And I just find Dorit to be insufferable. Like the way she's been treating Garcelle, the way she's treating Sutton, she's just not a nice person. And it's just really weird. And she isn't really bringing anything to the show. Like, it's just a lot. Like, it's just very, very, very weird and very, very bizarre to me. Very weird and very bizarre. And then also, like, did you notice that Dorit was putting people up to talk about Kyle and Mauricio's cheating rumors? And it makes me think, does Dorit want the rumors out there so she can finally be in public with Mauricio? Because she, at the dinner, she was the one who went up to Sutton and said, did you talk to Kyle yet? And Sutton was like, oh, not yet. I need a cocktail first. So if Dorit is supposed to be Kyle's best friend and having Kyle's back, and she's so against Sutton, why was Dorit setting Sutton up to talk to Kyle about the cheating rumors? And then did you also notice when Annemarie talked for the first time ever on the show and was like, oh, Sutton, well, what are you saying? You guys aren't really saying anything. Dorit was the loudest one in the room being like, yeah, you're right. She needs to say what it is. Again, Dorit, if you're supposed to be Kyle's best friend, why are you championing Annemarie saying that Sutton needs to just say what the rumor is? I think that Dorit wants the rumors out there. She wants Mauricio for herself, but she doesn't want to be the one to get her hands dirty doing it. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much all I have for Ding Dong Dorit. Girl, bye. Okay, so Erica. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that Erica's publicist fired her after he got exposed for leaking the Kathy rumors? I think it's really, really funny that he did that. Now, she was like, you know, Jack and I parted ways after the whole Kathy rumors, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is the same publicist, Jack, who fired Rachel Leviss for lying about Sheena punching her during Scandal. This is the same publicist. Same exact publicist. And then I'm like, I thought Erica was claiming that she was broke. How did she have enough money for a new PR team when she's saying she's broke and destitute? What broke person has enough money to hire new PR teams? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. And I'm tired of every scene that Erica is in being this fake scripted reputation rehab scenes. They're tiresome. I'm done with the fake therapist. I'm done with the fake publicist. I'm done with her. I like moms, but I'm done with her mom scene because every single scene is her trying to do reputation rehab. They're all scripted. They're all fake and phony, and we all see through you, Erica. You're as evil as you have ever been. And we're just sick and tired of it. Please sit down and have several seats. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about Crystal. Now, I'm happy that Crystal has found her voice and that she defended Sutton to Dorit and Kyle. Like, to me, that was good. Like, it shows that you have a backbone. It shows you have a voice, you have a point of view, and you're not just going to let everything, slide. I also love Crystal shading Annemarie, saying she's nosy and she asks a lot of questions and she's just not here for it. And I'm looking forward to seeing that takedown. And I really do hope Crystal stays 10 toes down and takes Annemarie down because I don't like Annemarie. And I like Crystal a lot more than I've ever had before. And then Crystal's also showing up and she wants to keep that diamond boo boo because Crystal was the one at the table who started the mess between Sutton and Kyle. Like, I don't know if Crystal did this on her own or if production put a little bug in her ear, because don't forget, Crystal was the one who got up from the table and went into when Sutton and Kyle were having their side conversation and sort of went into that side conversation, right? So with that, I think Crystal is showing up and she wants to keep her diamond. Again, I don't know if she did that on her own, being at the table, being like, look, we need to talk about this and get the elephant out on the table, or if production put a bug in her ear and was like, yo, Crystal, you need to ask the big question. You need to stir the pot because nobody else has the balls to do it. Right? So we'll see what's up with her. Now, Annemarie needs to go already. Like, I'm done with her. Her energy sucks. She's boring. And also, I don't need another person who's just going to be a mouthpiece for Kyle. We already had Teddy. We have Ding Dong Dorit. We don't need another person who is just going to be a mouthpiece for Kyle. Annemarie, shut up and go away. Her husband, as we all know, has been accused of sexual assault. And I think that might be triggering for people watching when she's on the screen or if he is on the screen. I don't know if they're going to edit him out. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if Bravo cares. I don't know if their production team cares. They don't really seem to have a moral compass, so I really don't know if they care. A lot of reality stars themselves have claimed that they've been sexually assaulted on set when they've been drunk or they've been blackout or they've just been in a compromised situation. So I don't know if they care to, but I want her off my screen. I don't want her on the show. Like I said before, Dorit was too quick to agree when Annemarie was like, Sutton needs to say exactly what she's thinking and what's going on with Kyle. Dorit was too quick to agree with Annemarie. You just met the chick and you're agreeing, trying to expose Kyle and Mauricio dating. You know what I'm saying? So, I think there's something really weird going on there. And that's all I have to say about Annemarie because I don't like her. Okay. So let's talk about the dinner. All right. So obviously, next episode, we're going to get even more juicy bits about the dinner. I think we're going to have more Camille. We're going to see the showdown between Denise and Erica. And I hope that Denise was wild. I don't know what Denise was on, but I was like, whatever you're on, like, can I have some? Because you are freaking flying. Like, she was on another planet. I didn't know what was going on with Denise, but I was like, girl, whatever party you're at, I'm joining you because you're on one. She was wild. But I hope that she has enough together to like gather Erica, because as we know, Erica does come for Denise, right? So that was wild. And then also this Justin guy, I cannot stand him. I don't like him at all. And I'll tell you why I don't like him. He is a bully. He is a very mean bully. He's a pick-me social climber. If you don't know who he is, he does like hosting and stuff like that. He's always hung out with Kyle. I think he used to babysit Portia, something like that. But he had shows on like E! And stuff like that, like hosting and pop culture. And he's just a jackass. Like, he's a very nasty, rude, disrespectful bully. He used to bully Kat Sadler when they were on E! News, like Pop News or whatever it was. He was so mean and disrespectful to her. It was disgusting to watch. I don't like him at all. He is nothing but a pick-me, social climber type person. And I really don't like him. And I don't care if he knows because he's mean. Faye, I've never had a problem with Faye, but like, please have several seats. Again, I don't need someone who's just going to be a beta person to Kyle and be Kyle's mouthpiece, right? Nothing against Faye personally, but just chill out. If you're gonna come there to be beta, don't say anything. Like, just be quiet. We don't need you defending Kyle and chiming in and blah, blah, blah. Like, just be quiet. Kyle is doing enough deflecting. When it comes to Faye versus Camille, I'm team Camille just because I really like Camille. I think Camille brings it. She's funny. She's sassy. She has the one-liners. And I think, again, I don't need someone like Faye or like Annemarie or like Teddy or like Dorit, who all they do is regurgitate whatever Kyle says. I don't need that. It's crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy. And let's see what else happened. Yeah, so that is pretty much what happened at the dinner. I think next episode we'll get a lot more of what happened there. Oof, you guys, that was a lot. So that was my recap of the episode. As always, let me know what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And before we do that, let's move on to this story, okay? This story about Kim Richards beefing with Kyle and Kathy as well. And are they singing Mauricio's praises or not? Okay, let's find out. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Kim Richards admitted that she didn't talk or see Kyle Richards after news broke of her separation from Mauricio Umansky while attending Kathy Hilton's Christmas party on Tuesday night. As Kim and Kyle seemingly reunited for the first time in months at their older sister's event, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum spoke of her estrangement from Kyle. She discussed a potential Bravo return and gushed over Mauricio 53 as Kyle reflected on her season 13's challenges. She says, I was not looking forward to shooting this season, Kyle revealed to People. It's a storyline, but that storyline is my life. I don't have a great poker face, so it was a challenge for me, and I didn't expect some of the women to come at me regarding my marriage. Are you crazy, Kyle? You know you're on a show called The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and you didn't expect your people to come for you. You didn't expect what do you call it? You didn't expect them to come for you for your marriage. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, and you've come for everybody else's marriage, but your marriage is off limits. Girl, bye. I felt like they could have been more supportive, she added, of her co-stars. It's been difficult. As Kyle struggled to film the season amid her marital struggles with Mauricio, Kyle said the two of them did not interact due to Kyle keeping her distance, although she tried. So, as we know, Kyle has been losing her mind and is such a wackadoodle. She says, I don't know anything about what's going on with her. I didn't talk to Kyle, Kim explained. She didn't call me at all, really, but I called her every day or at least once a week and just said, I love you. I'm here for you. I was hurt because I've always been her go-to. When her friend Lorene died, I was the one she came to. Makes sense, Kyle is going through it. And like I've always said from day one, I think that the catalyst and the crux of Kyle's breakdown was the death of her friend Lorene. I don't know why Kyle isn't leaning on Kim in this. Who knows what the situation may be with that. But I do think that that was the catalyst for her breakdown. After Kim signaled the 2022 death of Kyle's close friend, Kathy noted she's been through a lot this year, and Kyle confessed to distancing herself. When I'm struggling, I keep to myself a lot. I know that's how I operate. I get quiet, Kyle said. You didn't used to be like that, Kim replied. Well, I am now, Kyle explained. According to Kathy, no one knew what was going on between Kyle and Mauricio over the summer. Nobody knew if they were going to work it out. On the one hand, you don't really want to say anything because there are 4 children, Kathy shared. What I wanted to do was send her a lot of things to make her laugh, but also spiritual quotes. She really appreciated that. After Kathy then noted that her and Kyle's season 12 falling out was short-lived and said she, Kyle, and Kim are ride or die, Kyle expressed excitement for the holiday season. It's nice because the holidays are when you really want to be with your family. And if you're having issues, you miss them the most during the holidays. So it's nice to be all together, she stated. As Kim continues to work on herself away from the spotlight, she agreed that the holidays would be a time for their family to unite. I think tonight is a kickoff to the holidays because I haven't seen Kyle and I miss her, she shared. I was worried about her and I was hurt. Just all kinds of little things that I felt because I didn't hear from her. I just wanted to hear her voice to let me know she was okay. During another interview with E! News, Kim revealed if she was open to a comeback on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. For me, I will never say never, but most likely not, she admitted. I would rather do something with the three of us away from the kind of negativity. It's awful, where you do find people that go to a party and throw a drink in your face or they try to choke you. Talking about Lisa Rinna. So I don't know. Do you think she's teasing a potential spinoff with the sisters? A potential, I don't know, special, maybe like a Crappy Lake with the Richardson sisters? I don't know, maybe. She also shared her thoughts on Mauricio. I've never had a bad word. I've never said a bad word about Mauricio. I don't know anything bad about him, Kim said. He's an amazing dad, amazing father, and that's what I can say. The way his girls love him and the way he loves his girl. Well, that's a new tune because didn't Kim say that Mauricio and Kyle stole her house from her? That her mother left her the house and they stole it? So that's a new tune. You're right? Anyway, it's all about the children for them. Kathy agreed. I feel this is what I think is going on. I think that Kathy, Kim, and Kyle no, let me rephrase that. I think that Kathy and Kim are putting together a united front for Kyle because I think that they see like how much she is in a dark place. I do think that they see how much of a dark place she's in. And I think when it comes to your family, they're kind of able to put everything else aside and be there for her. Because Kathy was like, oh, we're standing by Kim or by Kyle. She's so strong. Kim's like, there's no bad word against Mauricio. I think that I think they see what we see. That Kyle is in a really bad place. She's spiraling. She's going through a crisis. She lost her friend. I think that they see that and they're trying to rally around her, even though she maybe hasn't been the best sister to them in the past. Okay. Now, as Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans may have seen, Kyle and Mauricio recently celebrated Thanksgiving as a family, which Kyle said came easy for the two of them. Mauricio and I get along very well. Obviously, it's a difficult time, but we have never been a couple that fights, she stated. My kids have said that they have literally never heard a fight between us in their entire lives. Well, that's a lie because we've seen you guys fight multiple times on the show. So if I'm watching it in my living room, I'm pretty sure your children are witnessing it in your actual living room. So that's a lie. But I want to know what you guys think regarding, the Richardson sisters and Kathy Hilton rallying around them. What do you think and singing most praises? And what do you think about Kyle distancing herself from Kim? Is there something more going on there? So be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And with that, you guys, I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat. And then I will also take some of your candy cane questions and comments. All right, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Hi, April. How are you, sweetheart? Hey, Deb. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Natoski. She goes, ugh, I can't stand Kyle, and that scene with Morgan was strange and weird. I agree. Like, I don't see sexual tension between them. Like, I really don't. And the thing is, I don't think that Kyle is like giddy high school crush around her in a sexual way. I think it's giddy high school crush in like I want to be one of the cool girls type of way. Not that I want to be a cool girl sleeping with you type of way. I just don't see that. Thank you so much, Deb. Yay. Thank you for being a mod and holding me down. I appreciate you. Thank you, Natoski. Natoski says, Kyle is allowed to be inquisitive about everyone else, but when everyone has questions about her, it's a problem. Exactly. Hey, Gossip News says, I don't like any of them other than Crystal and Erica. Deb says, hey, Barbara. Natoski says, hey, Gossip News. Exactly. Natoski says, hi, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Deb says, Sutton is one of the mean girls, is on the mean girls chopping block. How dare Kyle say Sutton didn't have what she said to her in a kind way? What the hell? Has she forgotten Lisa Vanderpump? Exactly. Natoski says he looks scared and confused. Yeah. Mauricio has no idea what the hell is going on. He's a deer in headlights. That's why he's always like, love Bean, because he doesn't know what's going on. I think he's like, my wife has lost her mind. Attack of the body snatchers type situation. All right. So Deb said Mauricio makes a face when she behaves coy with him like a child, when she is sarcastically coy when he speaks to her, like the Cheshire cat. Exactly. Deb says, what exactly did Kyle expect all summer with steamy hot kissing scenes with her new play toy? Then she works out like she's insane. Clearly behaves as if she's in love. That's my opinion. Oop. Sierra Content says, Morgan looks like she likes women. Now that's what she looks like now in my Nene voice. No, Morgan is a lesbian. She's out of the closet. So that's not a question. Morgan definitely likes women. The thing is, I don't think that Morgan likes Kyle. Do you know what I mean? And there's all like the rumors that like Morgan and Kyle are having some lesbian affair. And I don't think that's true. I do think that Kyle is obsessed with her, but I think it's more into like I want to be a bad girl too. I don't think it's necessarily I want us to have sex, if that makes sense. Vodka says, yeah, Kyle is unhinged. I agree. That's exactly what I've been saying. Unhinged. Yes, she is ridiculous. Toxie says, I don't know. Kyle acts like a schoolgirl with a crush around Morgan. I don't think it's a crush in a sexual way. I think it's a crush and like I want to. It's like like Mean Girls the movie. It's like a crush where it's like, oh, I want to wear pink on Wednesdays with you. You know, I want to sit at your lunch table. That's really more what it is. Elaine says Kyle and Sutton should throw their friendship away. You know what? Like Sutton says, our friendship is a farce and she's never had my back and she never will. 100%. All right. Sierra Content said her marriage. Deb says, I think it's a publicity stunt all the way around. We never knew who Morgan was. I don't believe she and Mao would totally separate. She stalked me, was a telling, especially that giggle after. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that this is some magical schoolgirl lesbian affair they're having. I think that Morgan really just wanted this as a publicity stunt. And, you know, speaking on that, let's cover this story. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. All right, so let's dive in. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Morgan Wade reveals fight with fan over Kyle Richards' tattoos and says Kyle stalked her as she makes her debut on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. All right, so this is the thing. Morgan Wade revealed that she got into a fight. So for several months now, fans have speculated that Kyle and the country singer are romantically involved amid Kyle's separation from husband Mauricio Umansky. As you guys know where I stand on that, I don't think that they are sexually involved. I think that Morgan is doing it for a publicity stunt. I think she's doing it for likes, clicks, and views and social media followers, for people to go to her show, for photo ops, for a moment. Don't forget, there was also the blind item that Morgan was mad at Kyle for not pulling strings to get her to be a host on, you know, whether it was the Grammys or the Country Music Awards, you know, for her to use her clout, and she was pissed. I personally think that Morgan and her team just saw a come up. You know, oh, Bravo, NBC, trending, all of this stuff. They saw a come up. And Morgan Wade has come up. None of us would have known who the hell Morgan Wade was had it not been for Kyle. And I think that Kyle is just going through it, and Morgan Wade happens to be one of those things. I think she was probably in a really bad place listening to Morgan Wade songs on the radio. And like Morgan said, she ended up stalking her. I don't think this is a teenage love affair. In the preview shared by @Queens of Bravo on Instagram, Kyle introduced Morgan to the show. Soon after, Morgan revealed she got into a fight on Instagram with someone who suggested that Kyle's recent tattoos were an attempt to copy the country singer. I was like, who cares, said Morgan, who claimed fans will assume Kyle's in a, quote, midlife crisis. This is the thing. When people joke and when people repeat things that are kind of slick digs, they are saying to your face what they actually think. So the fact that Morgan was like, oh yeah, I got into a fight with somebody on Instagram, and they're like, she's going through a midlife crisis, that is what Morgan actually thinks about you, Kyle. Because people will say jokes and people will do digs. They'll repeat something somebody else said as a way to say to your face what they really think about you. Great, Morgan, thanks, said Kyle, seemingly unhappy that Morgan exposed the accusation on camera. Exactly. Morgan was clowning the hell out of you. Kyle explained that she and Morgan are very close friends and that they talk every day, even though people are confused by their friendship. When asked how they met, Morgan stated, "She stalked me." Now, if you actually watch from the perspective of, I'm not a body language expert, but let's just pretend that I am for fun. If you actually watch the body language between Kyle and Morgan, it's kind of one of disgust and disdain from Morgan's side. She is basically just gritting her teeth and bearing with it. She kind of cringes at Kyle. Every time Kyle says they're friends, she kind of looks like at her like she's crazy. When Kyle hit her, I know Kyle was doing it in a fun way, but it just seemed like, again, like, don't put your hands on me, when she like pushed her really hard and Morgan kind of looked at her and Morgan's very closed off to her. I don't see any, I don't think that Morgan even likes Kyle. I really don't. Watch their interactions in a very close way. Also, watch their interactions when they were promoting the music video that they did. And if you even watch the music video, I'm going to tell you the exact clip of the music video to watch. And I'm going to tell you, when Kyle is in the doorway in the music video and she walks past Morgan into the room, clock the look on Morgan's face. It is one of disgust. I don't think Morgan likes Kyle at all. That's why she said she had a midlife crisis. That's why she said she stalked me. Morgan is telling us exactly what she thinks about Kyle. Because people always tell you what they really think. Kyle agreed and said, "I heard Morgan's music and I was like, who is this girl with this voice?" And I followed her. According to Morgan, another friend told her that Kyle mentioned her on Instagram. Kyle admitted that she did it to get Morgan's attention. In a confessional, Kyle described Morgan as 100% herself with no excuses or apology. This feels freeing to Kyle, who normally is so worried about everything being so together and perfect. "I honestly was just really taken by that," she added. I agree. And this is exactly what I mean by, I don't think that Kyle has a crush on Morgan in a sexual way. I think she has a crush on Morgan like in a cool girl way. Very similar to how Heather Gay has a crush on Lisa Barlow. It's not sexual, but it's a girl on girl crush. And like, if I could wear your skin, I would. That type of crush. They just expressed it in different ways. Let's see. So yeah, so I want to know what you guys think. Do you think it's true? No, Kyle and Morgan really are in a sexual relationship and she's cheating on Mauricio and it's pure love and Morgan is super into her. Or are you like me and you're like, Morgan and her team are opportunists? They found an opportunity for a come up. Kyle is going through something and Morgan is pretty much just a patsy for it. I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. And before you do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's bring up Rena. How are you, darling? Do you want to share?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So I wanted to comment on what you just said. I don't know if I missed an episode, but I just want to make sure we're talking about the same Morgan that went with her to get the tattoo.
Yes, that's Morgan.
Was that the first day that she was on the show?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because you said that she pushed her or something like that. So I don't know if there was another episode, but
Yeah, she put the, what I'm referring to is when they're sitting on the couch and they're getting the tattoo and Morgan made some comment and Kyle pushed her on her arm and Morgan looked at her like, "Stop." Go
oh,
back and
okay,
watch,
like that
if
playful.
you, I mean, personally
It
for
looked like a
me,
playful push. Yeah.
Kyle's intention may have been playful, but the way Morgan looked at her, like, I don't like people to playfully push me. And then we've also seen Kyle playfully push Sutton a lot. She's always
Yes.
putting her hands on Sutton a lot, to the point where Sutton was like, "Don't touch me." And the look that Morgan gave her was like, "Don't touch me." And she did push
Yeah.
her. And I think that particularly in 2023, you need to keep your hands to yourself, playful or not. You don't know what people's boundaries are. And it
Mhm.
didn't look, and I think Kyle maybe meant it playful, but it looked really awkward.
Yeah, I think Kyle has some stuff going on, and I feel like
Yeah.
she does, and you don't really know what's going on in her marriage. A lot of these things are pre-produced and made up,
Yeah.
but it also something that she's doing to get to publicize Morgan's career, her music as
Yeah.
well. Like just to get her name out there, and because I thought it was really weird, like you just scroll through Instagram and say I want to be your best friend, and now you're getting tattoos together.
Yeah, it's a stunt. It's a stunt.
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought that
Kyle
was like,
needs
Hey, gossip, what's up?
nothing much. I am. I feel conflicted this episode this season. I
Okay.
feel like I feel like this season I am on something because I don't get it.
Okay.
Kyle's going through a life crisis.
Yes.
Dorit dealing with PTSD and PK is being PK. And then we got Annemarie, who I already don't like.
really?
Yes, because something for
I
me
can't.
is
I agree with you. I can't stand Annemarie. She needs to get off the screen already. I'm done with her.
right. And it may part of it is because of the allegations that came out after she got confirmed. But it's like seeing her on screen, she acts like a mini Kyle. Like a mini Kyle in training. And
Well,
for
I'm not sorry.
I know you go ahead.
No. Sorry.
But it's like of all the people that have a grudge against, you have it with Crystal, who we all know didn't get
Yeah.
along with Kyle.
I feel like Kyle is like one of the executive producers, isn't she not on the show? Like, doesn't
No,
she
She's,
hold a
Kyle is
lot more
not an
weight?
executive producer. She just is a producer plant and a favorite, but she's not an actual producer.
oh, she's not like Giselle, who actually. Wait, Giselle's not one either, is she?
Yeah, I thought
No,
they
none of
were
them are.
producing. Not maybe this
N-
season, but last season. Didn't they do that last season or a couple seasons
No,
ago?
no. When we call them producers, we mean like they are taking it upon themselves to like be produced to
Oh,
produce the show. But no, none of the housewives are actually producers on the show. Like Lisa Vanderpump is a producer on Vanderpump Rules, but no, but
Hmm.
they're not producers on the housewives.
right. If
What
it's their
we
own,
mean by
Okay.
that is that they are stirring the pot, they are creating their own storylines, they're having alliances. That's what we mean when we call them producers of the show, not that they are actually producers on the show.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't believe this new Erica moment, new Erica redemption arc.
I actually do. I was gonna say that too. I've always liked Erica. I know that's like I shouldn't say that because nobody likes Erica, but I always liked
I
her,
like Erica
and
too.
I do feel like she's going to a place that's genuine. It feels genuine.
I mean, it feels real, and it's like she's been peaceful these last few episodes, and then Denise comes back. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a downfall. This is going to be the moment where Erica goes back. But at the same time, I'm like, so far, Erica's been somewhat funny when it comes to her confession shade.
Hmm.
Sutton, I like her.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
like Sutton. Her dramatic reaction of Erica killed me.
Mm-hmm.
And now, whenever I get in an argument with somebody, now I'm just going to keep saying, name them. 'Cause
Name them. Name
name
them.
them.
Yeah.
Name them.
Absolutely.
Hey, Nataski, you want to share?
Yeah. Hey everyone. I oh, by the way, good to see you, Gossip News. I feel like we haven't seen you in ages.
I know I've been busy with school. And
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm finally a senior.
Yay,
Oh, love that.
congratulations.
Thank you. I
You're
have one
welcome.
more year and then I graduate in the fall.
Yay,
Nice.
congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Um, so yeah, I that scene with Kyle and Morgan was like excruciating to watch. Very made me feel weird inside. Like I was uncomfortable. I was like, what is this? it was just very weird. And I feel like we're just watching a bunch of people like act up for the cameras and not telling us what's actually going on. And it's really annoying. And I
No,
feel sorry.
oh no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I agree with you completely because when you get to with someone, it's usually with someone that you know really well, not someone you just met on Instagram. I thought that was a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and to be honest, to this day, I know, Candy, you stand firm in your position, and I am 99% of the time. I thought 100, but like right now, I still am not sure if I'm convinced that they didn't ever cross the line of dappling. But I
Well,
agree
I
that,
think there's a difference between dabbling and then versus them having like this full on love affair.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
think it's that.
absolutely.
I don't think it's that.
There is no love for Morgan in Morgan's life, that's for
No,
sure.
Morgan is disgusted by her.
Morgan is embarrassed, disgusted, and can't believe she has to do this for her career.
Look, if Morgan
Yeah.
was trying to, I
Yeah.
think Morgan was trying to send signs to the camera saying, "Help me, help me!
It
I'm
seems like
being
behind the
forced."
scenes. It seems like behind the scenes, like Kyle approached her like, "Hey, I want to. This is my storyline. I want us to be like pretend lesbian lovers, but never do that." And Morgan was probably offended by that. That's what I feel
I
like.
mean, yeah,
Like she was like offended. Like you can't be like gay just for fun, and that's her. That's her life. Like why would you? And Kyle's married anyway. Like seems like she was approached to do something she was uncomfortable with, and it's kind of showing up. It's like to me.
also, how is it that Annemarie didn't even get an introduction line? Like, we just meet her at the party.
I think she's gonna be. I mean, if Bravo and NBC, whether it's from a moral standpoint or if it's just from a optic standpoint, I think they might be trying to edit her out more and
Like,
not be so prevalent because of the allegations against her husband that dropped.
oh yeah, because they start cutting Crystal's scenes down more,
Yeah.
and then now they got Annemarie, and they have these allegations. It could be a possibility that Crystal and Annemarie are probably getting. If not Crystal, then Annemarie is definitely going to be getting less seen.
It seems like Hollywood is on fire right now.
Is that? I mean, it's
Yeah.
on fire.
Everybody's being exposed.
I love it.
Me too. It's time. It's time to bring them all down. Like Diddy.
Right?
Diddy has been disgusting forever.
For decades.
Forever. Like super disgusting. A lot of
Like, I'm
weird
not
stuff.
shocked.
Like I'm personally like I'm not scared to talk about a lot of stuff, but I'm kind of scared to talk about that stuff because people end up dead when they talk about those people.
Yeah, people
True.
end up like
I
dropping.
was scared to talk about Beyonce being a witch. Like I was scared. I was just like, ah.
I mean, when we're protected by the blood of Jesus Christ, we're okay. But still.
Yes. Look, you know what? I don't need to go to Hollywood. I will stay in Georgia.
Yeah. No, but like back to what
do you guys want to have an impromptu viewing party? I just did something for us. So let's watch the Morgan and Kyle music video.
Oh
and
yes.
I want us to watch it. It's about 3 minutes. So I want us to watch it from the perspective of a body language expert.
Okay.
And the particular moment I want you to look for is when Kyle is at the front door and Morgan looks at her and then Kyle walks past her. I want you to pay attention to the look on Morgan's face. And I want you to decide for yourself what you think that look means. Do you guys want to do it?
Yes.
All right. Let me see if
I'm scared.
I know you do.
I've actually seen this video.
You have?
Yes.
I feel like my stomach is already cramping up. Like Embracing the cringe.
It's about 3 minutes, and we're gonna watch it. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't kick me off for copyright, but we're gonna watch it.
Hopefully not. It's for
Hopefully,
research purposes.
exactly.
This
Fair
is for
use, fair use,
research.
fair
You could
use.
pause the video at times and be like, zoom into her face too.
That still doesn't even work. That crap.
Oh.
People are always like, stop it for 10 seconds. That crap does not work. Trust me, I know.
I've tried that. My
I've
video
tried.
got taken down.
Doesn't work. All right, I'm gonna pull everybody down, and we're gonna watch, and then I'll bring you back up. So stay in the studio, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okie dokie. Bringing back up my panelist. What do you guys think? Number one, that music video, I feel like me and my friends could make a better music video with my iPhone.
Right?
But what do you
I
guys
now realize why I
Sound
refuse
out.
never to watch this ever again.
Exactly. Natasha, you go, then Gossip, then Rena. Oh, okay. Well, Rena, you go first.
Oh, I definitely see what you said. Like at the very end, the look on her face was like, "What?" I'm still laughing to myself because that.
You saw it, right?
Yeah. Why? I don't get it. I'm confused. Like she was like, "I can't believe I'm doing this."
Basically, she was basically like, I can't believe I've sold my soul to the devil.
Yeah. I don't know why they left that in the video either.
I don't either. I don't either. But that's what I mean. Like, I don't get that Morgan is sexually attracted in any way to Kyle. I don't even think she likes her.
No.
I think her team made her do it for exactly this reason. Like, we're now watching her music video. We now know who she is. She's gotten thousands of new followers. Like, she's now a part of pulp culture. That translates to money for them. That's merchandise sales, that's tour tickets, that's events, award shows. So for them, for Morgan and her team, it's a massive come up.
It also could be like an initiation into the industry for Morgan.
True.
I need to listen to more of her music. Because I don't really like that song, but I'm sure she's really talented. Maybe she's a good writer, but I don't really like that song. But they do all these weird initiations, and it sounds like that's what it kind of was for what this is for her.
Yeah.
And Kyle, it seems like that because anytime you see like a lot of like lesbian or like the things that you're not like the stigma stuff that back in the day wasn't allowed big on camera when you like randomly it to me that's what it's giving.
100%. Hey Kanie, you want to sound off, sweetheart?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine. So Annemarie, the new housewife, like she's not like she seems more like a friend of the show compared as being a because there's the dynamic is like more of Kyle and Sutton situation. I don't like the way Kyle was talking to Sutton. She was just very derogatory. Like she doesn't understand the guy is moving to London and traveling back and forth is not easy. She clearly doesn't. I feel like maybe Kyle's is jealous of Sutton. Maybe probably she has more wealth than her. I'm not sure, but considered considered her as a friend, and she's telling her her problems and everything, and then she's just like probably like making fun of her in her face. That's why like Sutton walked off. And then like Denise, I like Denise. She always has this positive energy, which is good for the show. So she brings like good vibes, and I wish she hadn't walked away, but who knows? Maybe she'll come back. Who else? What else happened? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
feel Sutton is jealous of Kyle. Kyle is jealous of Sutton. I definitely feel
Yeah.
that. Bec- It seems like Kyle is money hungry, and like,
Yep.
you know, I mean, who isn't? But she seems also like she doesn't have, like, this is a job for her. Like, these friendships don't mean anything to her. Like, I look at her, look at the other girls, and it's just like when they have their issues, she kind of looks at them like, why are you even telling me this? Like, I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to, think that she's really like that. But that's what it gives.
Yeah.
And I also feel like maybe because sometimes you're that way when you have so much of your own stuff going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sound off.
I'm still okay. I'm gonna say this. Looking at that video, I see what you mean. That where Morgan is looking very uncomfortable, and I feel
Mhm.
very uncomfortable. To see because the see Kyle, you're doing something. You're moving boxes in your house. You see Kyle just poking her eyes out of the blinds. Like I'm like, ma'am. Like I know you may love her, but I need you to like calm it down.
Yeah.
And they spent more money on Kyle's wardrobe and budget for that
I
than
know.
they did for hers. I was like, whose music video is this?
It
Look,
was Kyle's music video.
It
That's
was
why Morgan was looking like, what the hell is going on? That music video was all about Kyle. Because I'm telling you, Morgan's team was like, wait a minute, who said something new? Because Morgan has said this multiple times. She was like, my friends were like, oh, the Kyle, blah, blah, blah. And they were all going crazy. Morgan didn't even know who Kyle was. And she was like,
right.
why is this person from Beverly Hills following me? It's nothing but a come up from Morgan's camp.
It is.
Nothing but a come up. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Morgan was not like, oh my God, Kyle, I want to be in a relationship with you. Like, come on.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
Come
weird,
on.
but you never know. It reminds
And I
me.
also
I had a friend in high school who ended up marrying she ended up being a lesbian and marrying a very older woman. And that's what that
No,
reminds
I don't think I'm not saying that. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with Kyle's age. I just don't think that Morgan likes Kyle.
Even as a person.
As a person is what I'm saying. Yes. I don't think she likes her.
this is how I feel about it. Reading them on the show and in the video. Kyle is very clingy. She's
She always
obsessed.
is.
She gets off this. You can only be my friend. I'm the only friend you need.
Territorial.
Yes.
yeah.
Because you see how she was with Lisa, with Vanderpump. She was anyone that tried to get close to Lisa Vanderpump, she turned into a rabid guard dog. And
Yeah.
it's like she sees Morgan as this new friend that won't betray her. Lisa Rinna betrayed her. You had I don't know how she feels about Erica at this point.
So
I will assume that they're not really that much friends, even though Erica is being very nice to Kyle at this point. But it's like
yeah.
Kyle wants. This is what I've realized with Kyle over the years.
Okay.
Kyle is a full-on narcissist. She's always been that way. She's always said that I'm the real one from Beverly Hills. She
Mhm.
wants that fame. She wants to know it. She wants the people to remember her. So yes, she's gonna go and say me and Morgan are friends. And Morgan's team is like, play along with this, go along with the story so you can get more fans. Because I promise you, I am not gonna be doing a music video with Kyle. She got dresses, high heels, hair
Mhm.
done, and I'm looking like I done spent 5 minutes getting ready.
Yeah, and also the song just sucked. So Adam says, Candy, does Kyle have a prenup? No, they don't. Mauricio and Kyle do not have a prenup.
Yeah, like the music video, it
So
literally Like I thought it like if you didn't know anything about it and you just watched that, you're like, whose music video is this? Is this
Mhm.
Kyle's or is this Morgan's? Because
It feels like this is Kyle's,
it's all Kyle.
and
Like
it's
Morgan's
like
barely in her own video. Like,
right,
what?
and it's like we saw more of Kyle than you saw of Morgan.
Yeah.
And I
Literally.
gotta say this: who works out with high heels on?
I mean, I think she was just doing that as a joke, like 80s style, like kind of like Reese Witherspoon in that movie. What's that when she pretends to be a lawyer? You know what I mean? Like just as a joke to make it look like obviously I'm not working out and just showing off. But like it
Yeah.
clearly was all Kyle and you
It's
can
like a
tell
nod to the 80s, I think.
yeah. Like
Oh yeah,
those 80s those 80s like coming to whatever movies um were like The Neighbor, like Mrs. Robinson or like I don't know. That's what the
yes,
vibe I got.
because
And
it
who is
gives
she
me
signed to?
I don't know.
Like
because it
Morgan.
kind of
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
because it kind of gives me like Family Matter vibes, where you have Steve Urkel's obsessed with Laura Winslow, and Kyle is obsessed with Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
and Morgan's just standing there like, yeah, you're weird, and this is all a dream. Because
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it's a dream fantasy of Morgan and Kyle love finching. But in Kyle's head, it's reality. She's going to become friends with Morgan. She's going to make Morgan like her no matter what she does.
Mm-hmm.
Getting her name tattooed on her, calling her best friend, and touching her very weirdly in a way that if it was me, I would have probably punched Kyle on camera.
That's what I was saying. Like I didn't like when Kyle pushes people, it doesn't land well. Like the way
No,
she always puts her hand on Sutton, the way she always put her hands on Kim, and then the way she pushed Morgan in this episode was weird to me. It's a little too aggressive. It's just weird. I don't like it. And I
it
agree. And I don't think that Morgan liked it either.
no,
No
I
one likes it.
because I
Yeah.
looked at the episode and I'm seeing Morgan look at her. I'm like,
Yup.
Morgan, and I saw those eyes. Those eyes said, "Touch me one more
One more
time."
time. Yup. She looked at her like, if
she's
you
like, what'd
don't
you just
stop.
do?
Exactly. And then
She's like,
also pay attention every time Kyle says, "Oh, me and Morgan are such good friends." Look at Morgan's face and her energy. She looks like she's like cringing inside.
right,
Because
she's
Literally dying inside.
Morgan literally said this is the thing. You got to listen to what people say. She said you stalked me. She
yes,
said she was having a midlife crisis. Like,
mm-hmm.
hello, she's telling you exactly how she feels. Like, I think I'm like, Morgan, blink twice. Like, what? If you
And
need help, we'll
No,
come get
yeah,
you.
right, we'll come save you.
We'll come get you.
But
now
I
Morgan
also
is
feel like
definitely a industry plant, and
100%.
One
Kathy,
it is
hundred
yeah,
percent.
she's
right.
definitely an industry plant, and she might have a lot to offer. I mean, I we're just getting to know her, and see, but Kathy Hilton likes a lot of her pictures on Instagram, like almost all her pictures.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's fine. I mean, I think that they're all in the industry. They're all on reality TV shows. They're all doing it. And I also think, like, from what I said before, I do think that from like a real standpoint, like a human to human standpoint, I do think that Kathy and Kim are trying to support Kyle because I do think, like, all Kiki aside, I do think that Kyle's actually really going through something mentally and emotionally. The whole
Yeah.
Morgan Wade stuff, I think that's a stunt from Morgan's camp, but I do think that is a sign of the crisis that Kyle is in because it's not about Morgan, it's about Kyle acting out. And so I think they're doing everything they can to support her, especially when her friend passed away.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think
I look
this
at Kyle and
Because
Mauricio
Kyle's
like as money
aging.
hungry people. I look at Kyle Mauricio like money hungry people, and I feel like they have to be getting something out of bringing Morgan on financially, also for the storyline
Oh
of
yeah,
the show.
absolutely.
But she's an artist, so they could be investing in her career and seeing a turnaround. Like maybe Kyle's gonna think about managing. I could just see a whole bunch of different things. going
Yeah.
on, because it's very
Yes.
weird how she was in this music video. I mean,
Mhm.
Kyle's a pretty well-known actress in Hollywood. You know, she's not like a D-list actress. You know,
Right.
she's been acting
Well,
for a long time. She was
Kyle.
in
No, Kyle is
Halloween.
a D-list actress.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
Kyle
Is
is.
she?
She
Because
is.
to me,
Yes.
Her
if,
middle
I don't
name is
know.
D-list actress. Yeah.
look,
Kyle's definitely D-list. She's
because
known, but she's not known for her acting skills.
right,
No.
because
Yeah.
if it was me, I would have been like, why don't you pick Erica's the pop star? She's the one that actually knows how to sing better than Kyle. Kyle, all she did was
Well,
do weird poses and
Well,
new splits.
Morgan has the relationship with Kyle, so it makes sense.
yeah.
She doesn't
It
know
makes more
She
sense.
doesn't know Erica. Charisma says, "I'm wondering if you think that both could be true. Like it started out as a career publicity opportunity for Morgan, but Kyle wanted intimacy, so she went along with it to solidify her spot." No, because just me personally, and I know like everybody has their own opinion on it. Just me personally, no, I think that Morgan, it's a come up for Morgan. It's an industry situation. It's a come up. And for Kyle, I think that Kyle is just going through her crisis that she's going through, and she's acting out.
And all I can
Yeah.
think about is that one anonymous, like where they're like, about Kyle and Morgan was allegedly yelling at Kyle because she didn't pull strings to get a nomination.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And this is
But
how I feel about it.
Okay.
I think this is definitely Kyle's going through a midlife crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I think last season took a toll on her. It feels like Kyle's has been listening to people her whole entire life and is now wanting to find her own identity, but she's not doing it in a healthy way. I mean, yes, you're working out, you're not drinking anymore. That's good. But you're losing sense of yourself to where you're getting more tattoos. You're acting as if Sutton's going crazy because you're not wearing your wedding ring. You're telling Sutton that something's wrong with her. Because, look, if I was Sutton, I would be having vodka in the middle of the afternoon as well. If I had to deal with Kyle, I'd be like, you know what? Here, grab the whole bottle. Be like, you know what? Just name them. Keep drinking. We can make a drinking game out of the name it game. But I feel like Kyle. Oh wait, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were.
No, you're fine. But I just feel like Kyle expects people to back her up no matter what, and it's no longer happening. Garcelle and Sutton are like saying enough is enough.
I love that double teaming they did.
Crystal's has never been on Kyle's side. So it looks like if it's Kyle, Garcelle, Sutton versus Kyle, Dorit, Erica, and then you got the newbie, which I find it strange that the newbie was on her own for the sit at the after show thing.
What?
The after show they do for the Housewives?
Oh, I'm not watching that. So,
Oh, my bad.
Sorry. So Adam said, "Would you trust Crystal as a friend? Also, Crystal needs to talk about the 14 friends. Would I trust
Yeah,
Crystal
I would
as
trust
a
Crystal.
friend?
I mean, it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Not
It
with my
depends.
like top secrets, but I would probably be closer than like some of the other girls.
I'll put
Right.
it this way: the person on this, with the current cast, the person I would trust the most as an actual friend would be Sutton,
Yep.
because Sutton doesn't waver. She
Right.
doesn't sort of like have your back sometimes and not other times. She doesn't say one thing to your face and another thing behind your back. Sutton's very steady in that. And so I would trust the person I trust the most would be Sutton. Would I trust Crystal? I don't know.
See, for me, I feel like I would trust Sutton more because she's honest. Me and her are both from Georgia, so
Okay.
that I also have that connection with Erica. But Sutton is a lot more authentic than Erica.
Sutton's from Virginia, I thought.
No, I thought she was from Georgia.
I thought
I
she
think
was from. I thought she was.
Erica's from Georgia, right?
Sutton's a Virginian girl.
Yeah. Hey, Riley, you want to share?
I've been lied to my. I thought she was.
I've been lied to my whole life.
No, because I remember her and Erica were talking. They're like, "Yeah, me and Erica are both Southern peaches."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Southern gals. I don't
So-
know.
you know what? They might have said Southern girl. You know what? You know what, Southern? Yes, I still rock. Right, Southern then.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would trust Crystal like thirdly, like the third person I would trust.
Okay.
I wouldn't trust Kyle, Dorit, or Erica. Definitely
Hell
won't be
no.
trusting Annemarie. Garcelle is a maybe because
Right.
You would trust
I-
Erica?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't trust Erica. No, I would not trust
That's
Erica
wild.
because for me, it's like Erica. Erica will. She may be your friend, but she'll be willing to throw you underneath the bus for a dime.
Right.
With Garcelle, I like her, but I don't get why is it that you're. It's like she says that she's going to let Sutton fight her own battles. You
Right.
agree with Erica about what Sutton did ruin the night.
Yeah. Adam says Sutton is from Georgia. Yeah, I think she's from Augusta.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, you're right.
But hey, Riley, you want to share, sweetheart? Jump on in.
Oh, hi Candy, and hi everyone else on the panel.
Hello.
I actually joined the live late. I didn't get notification or anything. Just quickly on the whole Kyle Morgan stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I usually don't follow these shows like outside of when they're airing. So I don't really know, like I didn't really know a lot about this whole situation and stuff. I only just learned when the season started. And then yesterday's episode, I was looking forward to seeing their interaction because there's this huge split of people saying, like you guys, Lord, you saying, no, this is like some stunt, and then some other people want to believe that it's real. So I was
Yeah.
excited to see how they interact with each other because you can't gauge from photos on Instagram or whatever. And it was definitely weird. I feel like she was just looking at Kyle like I don't know, like you say, it was kind of like she was just like, I want this to end. I really don't want to be here. That's why it's so weird when I saw online people saying like, oh my god, their chemistry is off the charts and stuff. And I'm like, what did I watch and what did the rest of the
I
world
saw that
watch?
too.
Same. I was like, I'm so confused.
Look, I
I was just
remember.
like,
Look, I remember one of my friends was like, I talked to my friend. And she was like, Quinn, I know you know that Kyle and Morgan are friends. I'm like, have you bumped your head and called me crazy? Did you not see what I saw? Morgan does not want to be there. Morgan is being there because she is trying to get her image up.
yeah, and I think that it actually works because I don't know about you guys, but I had no idea who this woman was. I don't know her music. I generally listen to a lot of like up and coming artists anyway, but I never heard of her. And obviously, this show has elevated her to a status where we actually know who she is. And I'm out in South Africa, and I know who she is now, stuff like that. So clearly, it benefits her, and I guess Kyle gets a storyline out of it. But I'm so surprised that a lot of people actually, like YouTubers and whoever else, they're just like the chemistry is off the charts and whatever. Like I'm just like, okay, that's not what I saw. And then the question you guys just posed about who I would trust the most, I guess for me it would be Garcelle because she's showed up as a good friend for Sutton the past few seasons. So I feel like I'd probably trust her.
But have you
Um,
caught how Garcelle has been saying that Sutton now needs to like defend herself and she doesn't always want to come to her side, and she's kind of been calling her out with Erica?
Yeah, I noticed that in Vegas, that was happening, and I think it's because Garcelle is probably thinking like she's smart, she's probably, and she's like a producer and stuff, so she's probably seeing like, oh, they're trying to take down Sutton this season, and the only way I can exclude myself and like work on my own narrative and do what I my story for the season is if I kind of just let her be on her own, because I think that she has noticed that they're trying to make Sutton out to be some type of alcoholic or something, and she's like, I'm not going to connect, like this is a very dark road you're going, I'm not going with you on that. So that's my feeling
But
about
why
why
would she want
she's
to defend her friend, though?
I kind of disagree. I think
okay.
it's I think it's always been the fact that Garcelle has been trying to make some sort of bond with Erica. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
she wants
That's
Erica to
true.
accept her. She wants them to let her be
I
part
don't
of the
like it,
cool.
but it's true.
I don't like it either because it gives me like the Potomac how Wendy
Candace's,
wants to be
yeah,
friends
Wendy,
with,
yeah, totally.
and they don't let her in. And the two friends that you have, which are Sutton and Crystal, you're acting as if Sutton's outburst about not being able to go on stage, which I get what Sutton was upset. Look, if I buy a bunch of ones and I was told to wear pants, I'll be mad too. But she wore the wrong pants. Those were not Magic Mike pants.
No.
Those were going to church on Sunday pants.
Her pants were
those
fine.
impersonating.
Her pants were fine. All the guys at the Magic Mike, that was obviously very choreographed and scripted. They knew who they were already going to choose. Like
Yes,
that wasn't like spontaneous. Like those
I know.
shows.
I'm just trying to make Sutton feel better. Trying to make her feel better.
Oh. By saying she wore the wrong
I
pants.
lost.
Okay, no, I complimented the pants. I said that was church pants. I mean, so for me, I feel like Sutton's outburst, it's more of the fact of it's not her comfort zone. She doesn't do. We've seen Sutton. She's etiquette. She doesn't
No,
do the whole.
the reason why Sutton had her outburst was because it had been building. She was in her feelings about
Yep.
all of the girls talking about how she couldn't get a second date and clowning her for wearing a cat sweater, and she was talking about how she was feeling very lonely and she wanted to find love and she didn't know why people, weren't really responding to her. And to have an entire group of women, sure it's in jest, but like kind of clowning you for that kind of hurts. And she was also talking about, going through stuff with like her ex and everything
Oh
else.
yeah,
I think that's why it happened. And then she was, and it's almost like a kid who's like going to Disneyland and you're really excited to go see Mickey Mouse or something.
yes,
You're the one kid who didn't get picked to see Mickey Mouse. It was more like that. Like she was excited. She wore the pants. She brought the ones. She was ready to go. And then like, again, she felt left out. So that's why she got upset. And then she got up and she went to the bathroom by herself to deal with it. It wasn't like she threw a temper tantrum in front of everybody. Then Garcelle went to go see her. Then Kyle went to go see her. And then it all escalated. Like
right,
if they would have just left Sutton by herself to go to the bathroom and like maybe cry or do what she needed to do, collect herself and come back, it wouldn't have been an issue. But I'm
right,
pretty sure the producers were like, go follow her.
It was a straw that
And they
broke the
did it
camel's
on
back.
purpose, I think, because they knew that she would react like that. Like how bad
Of
like, Sutton
course.
really
Right.
wanted to put her hands on those men.
right.
And
And
They
speaking of
knew she
Kyle,
was gonna get picked, but they're like, still wear those pants. Still wear those pants.
of
I got
course,
hopes
it's
up.
because it's always a setup. And then of course, Kyle, because again, I stand by this. Kyle is the most violent person on that show.
Yep.
And then
yes,
Kyle said to Sutton, she called her a bitch to her face first.
right,
Like, why are you escalating a situation by calling Sutton the B word? And she never apologized. And then when Sutton called Kyle the B word, it was in response to her saying that, and Sutton still apologized, even though
right.
Kyle
Kyle
called
never
her that
did.
first. And Kyle never apologized, and she acted like she was the victim.
I can't
But I'm
stand
sorry, if
Kyle.
I'm having a moment and you come to me and you call me a bitch,
Them fighting words.
how are you the victim in that situation?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's always Sutton's the one that's always having to defend herself from being attacked first. You have
Yeah.
Erica, you have Renna, Kyle. She got mad at Crystal for one moment. Dorit literally made a big deal out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But Garcelle has multiple instances where most of these ladies have hurt her in some way, and you still want to be best friends with them.
It's weird.
And my main issue with her is you say one thing about how you don't trust them with your family, you don't trust them with your personal life.
Right.
But you then saying you're professional to Erica. Well, I think Erica should have walked up to him first because she's the adult. Yes, that is true. But you just told her that you didn't want her, you didn't trust her around your family.
Right.
So she's respecting that.
Mhm.
So it's like,
I don't know. I don't understand why I feel like that comparison that you made is probably accurate because I kind of see that too. Like she's still. I'm like, why would you even give Erica the time of day? Like I get it, you work with her, but it sounds like
right,
you're like actually trying and putting effort into this, which is just weird
right.
considering.
And that's what I'm saying. This trailer for this season shows Garcelle, and it's weird because it shows Erica, Sutton, and Garcelle all being fairly friendly, talking about how we're gonna find some men this season. It's like you weren't friends with her last season. All of a sudden now you want to have this friendship with Erica because Lisa's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think if I can just add to that, I feel like it might be a situation where, and I don't want to bring up a different franchise, but how I think Wendy and Candace
Yes.
they always talk about how much of a good time Ashley is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always like, Ashley is so much fun if she's not being messy. I think that maybe Garcelle thinks that Erica's a really fun person and cool and wants to hang out with her. So I think it might be a parallel there where even though like when they're not fighting, they actually like hanging out with Erica. We don't know, like maybe she's fun to shoot with and hang out with. So it could be that that might be a reason why they are so easily they forgive her more like easily than they would other people. I think perhaps.
Yeah.
But
I
but
can
they
see your
still should
point
have
there.
Wait,
boundary. I can see that.
Candor, do you want to share? Welcome to the show, boo boo.
Hi.
Hey, Pander.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello, everybody. I'm just want to know who gave Faith permission to speak on camera. My housewife. She's not even
Right.
really a friend. She's just a curb walker for the celebrities, an old withered one. I'm just wondering why is she speaking? Like, I'm looking at it and like, I know you're not talking to Sutton. Like, reverse and head to the exit. Like, who is
why
she?
was she even there?
Exactly, who is she? What is she? And the fact that Camille, I'm hearing myself laughing. Her and Camille are pretending to be okay for each other, but both of them are slagging each other off and
Look,
each other at the dinner table.
yes, look, when
Faye
I saw
full
them
on
at
removed herself
night, I'm
and
like,
switched seats.
Camille.
Camille is life. I swear to God, why she does not have a diamond for it is beyond me.
I
She
love
does not
Camille. I
give a
know.
damn. And can I just say, I am so in love with Denise being drunk and on
Oh
weed,
my god.
slurring. It is hilarious. This is
Wait,
like comedy gold.
yes,
Her
wait,
face was like melting and slurring.
I just realized that whole episode, I did not realize that Cynthia was there.
It's like I am loving the fun part of this where these women come in. This is what I like about Housewives, and they bring in the sass. And this is what's needed for this show because it's too dramatic. I mean, perfect when Garcelle turned around and said, she says, "Wait, what are you wearing, Zara?"
Yes,
Because
I'm
those
wearing
are
Zara.
big too. And do you
Look,
know what really scares me? It doesn't matter how much plastic surgery Kyle gets. The truth always shows in those old wrinkly hands. And it's just like have you ever seen that movie, The Witches, back in the 90s, where they take off the clothes
yes.
and come out? That's what Kyle reminds me of. I wonder if that she's got squared feet when she takes her heels off.
Oh my god.
She's horrible.
Look,
She
we've seen her feet when she takes her high heels off. Those are not normal toes. Those toes have become
Witchy.
rectangles.
she's a witch. She is literally a witch because witches have rectangle feet.
My
Well,
god.
we didn't confirm
Her
something.
hands matches Lisa Barlow's face. Just horrible.
All
Right.
right, now you're going too far.
But
Okay, let's run it back some. But
The
I
thing,
will say this though.
the thing is, I've seen what Dorit and Kyle's been doing with Sutton, and it's easy to wind Sutton up because Sutton's in her own way to start with, and it doesn't take much to wind Sutton up. I wish Sutton would just sit back and laugh at them and just say, "You're crazy," and
Right.
just put them in the places once and for all, because Sutton has that thing where she takes it on personally, as though it's like a personal attack, instead of just laughing at them, like seeing them for what they are. They've got no storylines, they nothing, and they're hanging on to Sutton for a storyline. It's pathetic. It really is. Sutton needs to get some balls about her and actually say, "Get the F out. I'm not dealing with you two sad bitches anymore. Like, get your own stories and stop clinging on to me for content." That's what she needs to say to them, because it's getting ridiculous. And I'm furious with the way Kyle's going on when Sutton's still. Because I knew what I said last time I was on Candy. I think Sutton's got issues still with the ex being controlling when it comes to the children in legal and
Oh
money.
yeah.
Right.
It came out in that conversation this week. I knew
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And Kyle's way of like replying to that, she is heartless. And I can't wait until Kyle gets divorced, then she will know exactly what Sutton has to go through when it
Right.
comes to
I
kids.
don't think she will because Morris is not like her ex. Like he's like
Oh,
Sutton
he's
said,
money orientated.
he's not just a realtor.
Right. And also, here's
Yeah, but
another
Marino
thing.
doesn't seem like he would ever like they remind me of Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Like their
Yeah.
divorce would the reason why they're holding on to their marriage if they're having issues, because I think sometimes Kyle just makes it up for a storyline. I don't think it's all peaches and cream over there. I definitely don't. But I think their marriage is that messed up.
I agree.
I think now it is.
Not
Yeah.
more.
I think previously it wasn't, but the way you see Mauricio, I don't think he's that good of an actor. He looks really shook. There's
That
like some
Morgan,
crumbling sound.
Mauricio looks
and
scared and
everyone,
confused.
that Morgan setup was ridiculous. And you see her old granny trying to scratch a key into her arm, and Morgan's like, I'm just like, this is boring. It's really boring. She's like, well, no one cares. I thought a lesbian friend.
Well,
No one cares.
Kyle's also in a hard place because Mauricio did take a lot of business from her sister. So, like, normally, if you get a divorce, most people run back to their family, like, if you can help me out, like, be on my side. And her family's not going to do that because they already don't trust. They don't. He stole business from them.
Right. And I want to
So
say
she's in
this.
a hard place.
This is definitely going to. I think this is the season where. Where's that crackling
There's
sound
a
coming from?
crunching.
I don't know.
Everybody mute and then one person unmute.
Is that
Go
better
gossip.
now?
Yeah, go gossip news.
Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. I feel like this season is them trying to. This feels like a Sutton and Crystal push out. Like, push out Sutton. We can cut out Crystal out and just act like Crystal doesn't exist and drive Sutton into insanity. Because in this amount of time, Sutton's dealing with her own family issues. She can't. No one. If I was a guy, I would have definitely gone out with Sutton again if she wore a cat sweater. Like, let the girl be. We let Crystal wear her ugly leather pants. We let that happen.
The,
We let
Mhm.
we let
the thing
Kyle
is,
do her freaking splits.
Mhm.
the thing is, was the pants really that ugly? That's just Sutton with her frustration.
No,
But
the
the thing
pants were
is,
ugly. They
the,
were
the
The
they
thing
were
pants, the
ugly on
pants
the
are
pants.
ugly. The
They were
pants
ugly.
look like if you took
I thought,
Sheen.
I thought the kitten sweater was
Yeah.
cute.
The kitten sweater was cute. Them
Yeah.
Crystal's pants need to go into the incinerator.
Exactly. Okay, go Candor, go.
See, I thought the kitten jumper was sweet. I mean, what's she gonna do? Come in latex like Erica, like she did in Germany, and just look them up and down and just say, "I'm going to use you. How much money have you got in your bank account?" No, she's going as like a normal self, which she should do on a date. because at the end of the day, Sutton is not a model. She's just acting like her age, and that's all she's doing. Unlike Kyle, always wanting to be young, and she never will be competing with her daughters. It's just never going to happen. She's old. The hands show that. No matter what she does. The thing is, what I'm telling you, what I'm more impressed with when Crystal was in the confessions and she was saying about Dorit and she was saying about Kyle's behaviour when they were
Mhm.
coming. This is what I like to see about Crystal. She has an opinion. She's not scared to say what she thinks. And she's actually watching what they're doing. She's not stupid. And this is what I like shown when they actually say something against the little group of the Fox, whatever's remaining. Because it is a joke within itself. These two women. It's like throwing bricks in glass houses, basically, the pot calling the kettle black, in that kind of scenario. These two are hypocrites doing this crap because they've got no storylines. I think it's about time Dorit went, and I think it's about time Kyle went too, because they have nothing and they bring nothing to the show. Like I say, that Morgan thing, ugh, so over it already. Even the way Morgan was acting, going on so stale and dry, and I'm just like, why am I watching this? It's so boring. And
I do definitely. I think that they do need a little bit of a change up, but I don't really see that happening. But I did notice with the Housewives, like whoever's the fan favorite, which is obviously Sutton, they all are gonna try to bring down.
I don't
Yep.
think Sutton's perfect, by the way. She's just normal. She's just a woman. She's got her own problems and stuff like that. You can tell, and at times she gets highly strung. But that's just how Sutton is. But these two bitches know how to play Sutton, and they do it every season with it, get her wound up and playing her for what she's worth. And like I say, the best thing for Sutton to do is actually sit back and actually say enough. Like I'm not going to. What does Meredith Mark say? I'm not engaging in it. Who's that again? With the
I'm disengaging.
yeah,
Where's the crunching coming from? Is that me?
I think it might be Rinna.
Oh wait, let's see.
The
Oh, there we go.
but yeah.
You know it's Rena.
But
No, it's. I'm
but
muted.
the thing is like I say, and one thing I will say before I go, because it is kind of later. Yeah, how
Mhm.
dare Kay say something about something, saying that that he wouldn't look twice and something like that. I'm like, PK,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Wait, what did she say? Say
like
that
PK.
again.
he wouldn't look twice at Sutton. Like he's going like having digs at Sutton, and I'm just like, PK, you are not Brad Pitt from the 90s. Shut the f up. Like you're a fat old pig.
Ew, I didn't miss. I must have
Yeah.
fast
Yeah.
forwarded that
Yeah,
part.
I'm just like, who do you think you are, PK? Like, seriously? Like, have you seen a mirror? Do you know what a mirror looks like? Have you looked into one
I
before
mean,
you
she got him back real good though when she was like in the confessional with Dorit, being like, well, maybe what did she say? Like maybe I should learn something because like Dorit fell in love with BK.
Yeah. Maybe
What
I
did she
should
say?
lower my standards because after all, Dorit fell in love with PK
Oh,
or something.
maybe I should stop being picky
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Dorit fell in love with BK. That's what she said.
but did
Thank
she
God for my notes, you
PK
guys.
barely
but,
looks human, so
but
like I don't
did
even know what he's talking about.
but did she really fall in love with PK, or was she just money orientated to get to the
Good
grift of
question.
is?
Very
Money
good question.
oriented, and now that she is on Bravo, has her 15 minutes and got all her plastic surgery, I think she's looking to upgrade. I think she wants to divorce PK, find a new guy who's probably younger and has more money.
Of course she is. I tell you what it is with Sutton with this dating malarkey stuff. For people out there who's never been married, when you've been married, you've um you've been through it. You're very apprehensive who you want to meet, and you see where the flaws all are, and you don't want to fall back into the same steps. So I don't blame Sutton for being wary of what she likes and what she doesn't like, and things like that, because it could be triggers of what's happened in the past. The thing is, does Sutton really need a man? Not really, but it's fun to have someone around. And it's the
Right.
same with Garcelle. These women are not stupid, and it is just used as a storyline. So they've got some kind of storyline going on. But the thing is, they don't really need men, to be quite honest, and they don't. Just anything for fun, yeah, but nothing too serious. And
Mm-hmm.
they to go,
And
they
I don't
don't
like the men commenting on the women's looks. That is ridiculous.
what like
Yeah,
Kyle's
I agree.
like Kyle's old withered 90-year-old hands.
No, like I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like the husbands. Like, how
I know
dare
it
the
got
husband?
something that I can't help but joke on when she pulled out that hand to show the ring. Oh
Oh
my
my
God,
god!
it
It was
looked
like
like
the crypt keeper's
yes,
claw
it's just
reaching
hard
for
to say. It looked like the crypt keeper
trying
coming
to
out of the
trying to
coffin.
steal the youth of the.
Well, I mean, this is the thing because remember last week we were talking about when Kyle said, "Don't flatter yourself," when Sutton said, "You treat me like a little sister."
Yep.
The gag is Sutton is younger than Kyle.
Yeah,
Kyle's 54, going on 55. Sutton's 52. That's why she said, "You treat me like a younger sister," because she's younger than her. And that's when Kyle was like, "Don't flatter yourself," because
I,
Kyle was
when,
basically saying, "I look better than you."
See, I still think
when
that she
she
meant
said
like not
that,
like as a real like physical younger sister, just like but how you would treat a younger sister. Like you make fun of them, you belittle them, you don't take them seriously. And then
That
Kyle
is
took it literally and was like, "You don't look younger than me."
exactly. But the reason
Yeah,
why she would even say that is because she's actually younger.
the
just with a
thing
lot less Botox and
the thing is,
more facelifts
if I was
left.
Sutton and Kyle said that to me, I'd have
Because
back up.
I think Sutton looks older than Kyle.
So do I.
She doesn't
Yeah.
do all the she
She
doesn't do
does.
all the cosmetics because everyone in Hollywood seems to be looking the same
Kyle's
lately.
had 3 facelifts and probably like 8 noses.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kyle looks good though. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like she doesn't look good
Kyle
for her
does look
age.
good, but
I
I
mean, it's
mean,
money
she's
well
paid for
spent.
it.
It's money well
Yeah.
Yeah,
spent. You see
but
the
it's
photos
not
of
like even
before.
obvious. I don't think it's even like obvious plastic surgery with Kyle. I think Sutton's just not into all that. You know how some people are
Yeah.
into all that? I don't think that's Sutton's thing. Like she just
I'm
wants
of
to age
the
gracefully.
women what grows old gracefully without all that
Yeah.
and excess because this is the problem what society has. They can never let go of youth and just let the youth have their moment. They've had their moment to shine in the sun. Just let it pass down. Grow old gracefully. You know, it's not hard. It really,
Candy, now's your time to say your famous saying.
you
What's
know
my
what I mean?
favorite saying?
You're like God's plan.
Oh, God's plan. Yeah. God's
That
plan.
was my favorite. She's like,
Because
I'm not doing anything. It's God's plan.
God's
I'm,
plan.
I'm sorry, these women at the age in the 50s, 60s, 70s going up, looking like they've got bloated faces, duck lips, extra ass sticking out, and
Yeah.
these like rock solid bullet tits. It
Rock
looks
solid
weird. It really does. It looks weird.
Doris literally looked like that.
And
Yeah.
it's not sexy. It
It
really
looks like
isn't.
build a girl kind of situation. Does not look natural.
It's like
Yeah.
let's go to build a girl, not build a bear, and
Yeah.
come out the other end.
Yeah.
It's so manufactured, and it's so sad because it just goes to show how insecure these women are about the looks and how they see themselves, and it's sad. It really is.
Yeah.
Adam
I
is
think it's
Adam
easy
is
for
trying
them.
to Adam is trying to work me here because he knows I like Monica. This is why he's bringing these questions in for.
I don't think you really like Monica. I just think you like to be a contrarian, Candor.
Yeah.
I think you like you're Kyle. You like to stir the pot.
No,
So
I
Adam
think
says,
Monica's the breath of fresh air. She's saving that show. It's a
boy
simple.
bye. Boy bye. Adam says,
Candor.
Candy.
Without
Kidder-
Monica, what would that
Kidder's
You're
show
my
never
boy.
be?
lose your credibility in 0.5.
Exactly. Kidder's my boy. He knows I love him.
Monica is alive.
Adam says, Candy, who is worse, Annemarie or Salt Lake City Monica? Worse. I think it depends on what type of worse you're referring to. Like,
I think
who is the worst personality? I would say Monica, because I don't think Annemarie has a personality. And I think Monica's personality is worse. Who, from a moral standpoint, do I want to see off the screen the most worse in that sense? to be honest, Annemarie, because of the allegations that came out about her husband. Because I'm thinking about the audience in its totality, and I think that a lot of people might be triggered seeing her and or her husband on the show, given everything that just dropped. And I think that the people at Bravo and NBC need to be mindful of the experience that their audience is having. Now, Monica, on the other hand, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say about Annemarie. What if she didn't know her husband did those things? Perhaps, like maybe she just found out about it like we did.
It doesn't matter if you. I don't care. Like, this is the thing. I will give her 1000% the benefit of the doubt. Say she literally had no idea that her husband was a predatory sex offender. Like, just this is to say she had no idea that happened, right? And she found out like the rest of us. That doesn't negate the fact of the experience of the audience given what happened. And so just because she may or may not have known doesn't mean that her and his presence on the show still isn't triggering to people watching it.
No, you're right.
And that's really more of what I mean about how they need to figure that out first. Like, if let's say he is vindicated and it turns out this woman is lying. I personally don't think she is. She sounds extremely, because we did a whole deep dive on it. This woman sounds extremely credible. She's not the only person accusing him of this. She has the receipts for decades. So I personally think in the college as well, like, she has the receipts, and I think she's extremely credible. But let's just say he actually is vindicated, then fine. Bring her on, have that conversation, whatever it is. But I think until you clean that up, because it is such a big issue, it's very triggering for people watching. And I actually have to credit one of my candy canes for bringing that to light, because I had done a deep dive on it. And I had asked, what do you guys think? Like, does it matter that he has this stuff going on or not? Do we want to see her on the show? And somebody commented on the video and they said she doesn't need to be on there because people watching it will be triggered by it. Yeah. And I was like, that's a really, really solid point. And I kind of agree with that Candy Cane comment. I forgot who said it. Shout out to you, Candy Cane. And I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense, because a lot of why people get so invested or up in arms with reality TV in general, but reality TV in particular, is because something in it does trigger them, whether it's positive or negative. Like Scandival, the reason why that blew up was because so many people were triggered from their own stuff. They were projecting their own stuff onto what was going on with them. Well, I remember when my boyfriend led me on, and I remember when my best friend cheated with my husband, and people were just going off the freaking deep end because they were so identified with the trauma that they were watching. And I think that there has to be a bigger responsibility to the people who are watching it.
Candy, I honestly never noticed. I never thought in a million days that people would take it on as though it's their own situation. It was ridiculous. It got blew up into something what it didn't need to be. But the thing is, what I find funny is, and I'll tell you now, I never take Housewives seriously. I like to have a joke and a laugh on, and I just take it for what it is. It's just supposed to be light-hearted TV, nothing too deep, nothing too serious.
You get into it sometimes.
But it's not meant like in a nasty way, you know what I mean? But I will clear this up about supposedly me saying I was wanting to watch Crystal to see what she does this season. Candy, you know fine well weeks ago what I said about Crystal. She better step her ass up.
She has.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is because if you look at Adam's comments.
You can't be mad at Crystal.
I'm not mad at her,
for production editing her out, because I think Crystal has been.
They're icing her out.
This is what I said the other week. But Adams keep on bringing up saying I said to Freddie, I'm watching Crystal. He's wetting himself in the chat. You see, but like I say, I am watching these women because it's not just Crystal. And like I said, and I remember when I said on IG, she's like full of life on the IG. Why is it not shown on the screen? And I just says, I'll be watching Crystal to see how it plays out this season. And I know it's production doing it, because her in her confessionals and the way she was looking at Kyle and Dorit, the way they were behaving on, you knew she wasn't down with that shit. Yeah. And like I say, it's Garcelle I'm wanting to see shine a bit more as well. But I'm just wanting Dorit and Kyle gone. I really am.
Kendra, what do you think about what we were saying about like Garcelle? Like we're kind of like a little iffy about her right now for two reasons. One, the way she's not super loyal to Sutton, and two, why is she like kind of like giving into Erica a little bit too much?
I think Garcelle's
I
That sigh.
I think Garcelle's
Garcelle
trying
is
to play
not
it
like a
safe.
mean girl.
She's
Garcelle's not a
trying to
mean
play.
girl.
She's trying to play it safe. She's trying to be on an even keel with
Yes.
everyone and just keep it surface level. But the thing is, what Garcelle doesn't realise is she can't keep it surface level. The best part about Garcelle is when she jumps in, like she said, you're the husband this time. Because you had Sutton and Kyle going around the bushes, not wanting to say what each other's thinking, really, and it was going to go on forever. And she just put her foot down and says, your husband. You know what I mean? And like she brought it out, and Erica's eyeballs popped out. The herb on the table. This is what I like about Garcelle. When she is blunt and when she speaks her mind properly and is forward pushing these conversations, this is where Garcelle shines because she is a smart cookie. She is. And I don't like Garcelle sitting there being limp and not engaging. I'd rather she was engaging because that's when you see Garcelle shine the most because she's very clever and it's not shown properly on here because she's scared to show herself because she doesn't want to see herself in a certain way. She's going to have to start stepping up and actually showing her personality. And Adam, I am not scared of Lisa Barlow. I would be if she. I would. No, I take that back. If I woke up and she was lying next to us, hell yeah, I would be scared seeing that horrible mess next to us. Damn right, I would be. But
Yeah.
anyways, like I say, thank you for letting us up. Sorry
Yeah,
about
of course.
Adam likes work myself, so
I love it. I love
ridiculous.
it when you and Adam like wind each other up. It's so much
I love it
fun.
too.
I love it.
I'm sorry, we're toxic. We love it.
We love it.
But I always speak my mind and go off the floor, and you can chuck anything at us. It doesn't bother us. I just, you know what I mean. It's just all for fun and show.
Yeah,
But
you guys
like,
are lovely.
Yeah,
You're
we know.
absolutely lovely. Yeah.
but like I said, I didn't like Annemarie's tone,
Yeah.
Nope.
and I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of hating Annemarie, but the way she was sitting,
I
looking
will.
Kyle,
I will.
because
She was a
So
little too
the
perky
thing is,
and a little
for
no,
one
Candy, because the thing is, at the seed, it was like, oh, how far can I get my tongue up Kyle's ass? And that was
basically
just weird.
and then also like because Deb's asking what was he charged with. So her Anne-Marie's husband, I think his name is Marcellus, he was charged with sexual assault that starts with an R word, particularly of a young woman that he went to college with. She very in a lot of detailed exactly what she alleged happened to her. She also reported it to the people at school. They went to Columbia University, so there is a paper trail of that. She's also reported it to her friends. Basically, the people at the university protected him because he was like a big football guy, and they wanted to, win football games and all that stuff. She then went on to participate in Take Back the Night, which I think is like a program for, women or men who have been victims, sort of outreach thing.
She started that?
And then she didn't start it. She participated in it. But the
I was
reason
gonna say, I
why
heard
that's
about that.
yeah, but the reason why that's important is because she said that when she joined that group, she found other women who said that he did the same exact thing to them. So it's not
In
like
the
she's
group?
in the
Wow.
group. So there's other women who are not just corroborating that she told them what happened, but they're saying that the same exact thing happened to her, to them as well. So there's multiple women who have said this now. And then also the woman went on to be, I think, a director of something at the school. And she was able to block him from getting into different types of I don't know what the word is, like awards and things like that from Columbia University, because she's like, I'm not going to let you award this man who did this to me and other women. And the university bowed down to her because they didn't want her to go public. So to me, if this big university is bowing down to her, that gives credibility to what her story is, because the university wants to honor the alumni because he's famous, he's an NFL star. That's going to bring them sponsorship, endorsements, celebrity people. They're not going to want to miss out on that, because they're not honoring celebrity alumni because they care. They're honoring it because what does it give to the university? So the woman's story has a lot of credibility, and I think that people now knowing this and it now coming out, and the reason why she did it now is because of the new statute of limitations for assault. I think some law in New York about for like adult survivors.
Why Cassie came out, why they're all
it's why they're all starting to come out, because of like statute limitations and adult survivors and everything. So it's like, our law unfortunately has parameters for when you can report and do all of that
stuff. Which is gross.
I think there shouldn't be any statute for that abuse and everything like that. And
so if the guilt has to linger their whole lives when they got away with it.
As it should. And then when we were talking about it, for me, the question was, to my Candy Cane audience was, well, does it matter? Like, does it matter that he has been accused of this horrible thing? Because he has been accused of it. He hasn't been convicted of it in a court of law yet. Should she still be able to be on the show? Should they edit her out? What does that mean? Does she bear the sins of her husband? What does that look like? And one of my Candy Cane people commented, and they're like, well, yeah, she shouldn't be on the show, because when we see her, even if her husband's not on the show, we're going to think about it, and if you've been affected by it, that's going to trigger you. And I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty spot on. And it's a very different type of trauma than like looking at Erica spinning victims' money, which is horrible and very wrong. But sexual assault is very different than a white collar crime. And so it hits different. So I think it's a different conversation around that. So that's kind of what happened, Deb.
Right, and coming to terms with it, it's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not fair to put limitations.
And I'm going to go.
Hey,
welcome to the party.
Sorry, I'm gonna go, but
okay.
I'm gonna give Annemarie some advice. Kyle's got enough shadows. She doesn't need another one. So if you want to stay on this show, I would distance yourself well away from Kyle. And that's all I'm going to say, because look what happened to Teddy. You don't want to be a Teddy. Sorry for everyone. Everyone have a good night, and I've got to go. It's late.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Freddie.
Have a good night.
Hey, everyone. I mean, for me, with this Annemarie woman, I didn't like her from the beginning. The fact that anyone that would boast about being friends with the Nat is automatically just incredibly unlikable. So, and the problem with Marcus Wiley is, even before Beverly Hills, there were a lot of rumors about him, a lot of controversial posts that he had on his Instagram. And when those were sort of getting exposed, Bravo seemed to quite quickly get into action and sort of try and sort their Instagrams out. And I suspect the reason for them doing it is they didn't want a whole Salt Lake City situation, because with Salt Lake City, they'd actually casted 2 women, but then they found, controversial Facebook posts from them and then decided to uncast them. And then, of course, who else? Jenny Wen, obviously, as well. A lot of that stuff. So I think Bravo tried to get ahead of it. But I think with the Marcus Wiley stuff, what Bravo just still don't get, despite being in the game for so long, is once people have seen it, you can't just unhide things and pretend that doesn't exist, or you can control the narrative. People already know what happens. And I think as we see more and more of Marcus Wiley, I think more people are going to expose what potentially he's done, and more allegations are going to be out there.
I agree 100%, because usually when one comes out, there's always more that follows. Like, it's usually not just like a one-off. And she already said how, when she did, Take Back the Night, she met other women who claimed that he did the same thing to them. And it's giving also very like, you may have referenced her. It's also giving very Diana Jenkins, where it's like the allegations are so atrocious, you can't unsee it. And I agree,
Exactly.
and I agree with you 100%, Freddie, on that. I agree.
I mean, thank
Yeah.
God we don't have to see that Diana Jenkins again. I mean, she
Ugh,
is the
Right?
worst person ever.
gross.
I mean, I was delighted to see that Camille and Denise were back. I mean, the bit that just frustrates me is, I mean, my thing with Denise, I like her, but I just don't think she's honest enough to warrant being a full-time housewife. I would like to see Denise maybe in a friend capacity.
Right.
Camille, though, what, I mean, who are these moron executive producers? I mean, if it were my show, I'd be doing anything. I'd be moving heaven and earth and throwing money at Camille Grammer to make sure that she was wanting to come back as a main cast member. She's
Agreed.
liked by the majority of the audience. We know she delivers. Why wouldn't you want her? Only a simpleton wouldn't want her.
It seems like a no-brainer. I know. It's weird. She knows exactly what to say and come out everyone. She has the most history. It's just a no-brainer.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, I feel like it was Kyle who got her off the show.
What
But
happened? I don't remember.
Oh, because Camille went for Kyle's neck when she got on the show, like every single time she got, because she thought
When
that
she got
Kyle.
remarried? Was
When
it the
she
time when
thought.
she...
No, it was when she first came on the show in general, because
Oh,
she
yeah,
thought
yeah.
that Kyle was setting her up when she was talking about what was going on with her and Kelsey, her ex-husband.
But this is Evolution Media and
Yeah.
Bravo's fault, because if they looked at what the public, what the actual audience for this show say, there is more love for Camille than there is for Kyle.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But because they're little favoritist people that want to, that they're all the types that are desperate to be the gay best friend of Kyle or something like that. And
Yeah.
so they go, oh, let's suck up to Kyle because that'd
Like
be
that one
constructive for us.
reporter that used to be her assistant, that guy.
Oh, that
Oh,
Justin
Justin?
Sylvester guy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I can't
makes
stand
He
him.
makes
Me
me want to
neither.
throw up. He is the most
Same.
awful person ever. And I mean, what did we all think of Fatboy Kemsley's opinions on Sutton Strack? I mean, he had a real
Atrocious.
nerve. He had a real nerve to be saying that. I mean, based on all the rumors, it sounds
It's
like
only making him look bad.
based on all the rumors, it sounds like his wife doesn't even want to be with him. So who's he
Exactly.
to have a go at other people?
He's projecting because he's mad that his boyfriend on the side, Mauricio, prefers his wife.
He's heartbroken. Yeah.
He's heartbroken. His boyfriend, Mauricio, prefers Dorit over him, and he's mad about it.
Ew, just thinking about him
no.
being sexual at all makes me want to join the
Ugh.
convent and never just like
But
climb inside my
this is the
body.
thing. It's just never Adam, his boyfriend on the side. This is the thing. It's never a good look when a man makes any type of negative comment regarding a woman, particularly about her looks or sex or anything like that. It's just never a good look. And also, like PK, I also think he's jealous because Sutton makes more money in her sleep than he will ever make again in his life. So I think he's just super, super jealous of her. Like she wakes up to thousands of dollars in her bank account, and
Literally.
he's doing, you know, robbery schemes with his children in the house, trying to pay, you know, gambling debts. So PK, you know, go do one, as they say over across the pond. Go do one.
The issue with
crazy.
Come on now.
with Fatboy Kemsley is that because everything he's doing is failing at the moment, he goes, how can I look for a moment? And he realizes that Instagram's the way to do that. So he thinks going for people like Dana Wilkie, me, and now he's going for people like Sutton, because he doesn't like it when people expose the truth of what is really going on.
Yeah.
And what he needs to realize is you're not in a position where you can shut people up. You know, your lies are coming out, they're unraveling, And he damn well knows he can't control the narrative anymore. And we can see that Dorit is spiraling. I mean, her hair, it looks like a box dye job that it's like she bought some box dye from Walmart to get that done.
Did you join us when we did the top 10 signs that Dorit and PK are going broke? Maybe it was the top
think so.
5.
I
And number
don't
4
know.
was Dorit's hair, because it's
Yeah,
very
it's giving red
expensive.
blonde.
It's very expensive to keep that blonde when you're not a natural blonde, to keep your blonde hair looking good. Like,
Without
you have to
falling
go back
out.
without falling out and keeping it healthy. Like, you have to go back, you have to do all these different things. And sometimes when people don't have the money for their hair, it costs money to look good, you know what I'm saying?
And that whole
Yeah.
tracksuit look
And
with
that
the glasses
Blonde
as well.
is
That was
exactly,
and high maintenance.
and blonde hair is very, very expensive to maintain in a healthy way. And sometimes when people can't afford it anymore, they go back to brunette or a darker color, which is way more low maintenance and a lot less money to maintain. And that's why she's looking so brassy and mousy, because I think they can't afford her hair anymore.
And I mean, no glam team. She's not had the glam
Mhm.
team either. That seems to have disappeared.
Yep.
Oh my god, I just like looked at this one picture on Instagram, and it's a freeze frame of, first of all, Kyle and her like 15-year-old hairstyle. And then
I better go.
Annemarie is
Bye.
snarling.
Okay. Bye,
Oh,
sweetheart. Thank
bye,
you.
Freddie. And Annemarie is just literally like looking at her, snarling. Like she, first of all, Annemarie, like if she ever said anything to me and I've been on the show for a while, I'd be like, honey, why don't you read the cliff notes on this one and stay out of it? Because you don't even know what's going on. This is history that you don't know about. So, and I don't even know you. So, why don't you sit this one out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the season pans out.
Mm-hmm.
With Annemarie, because she was very vocal at BravoCon.
She was.
Did you guys watch? Yeah.
What was she saying?
She just had a lot to say about, her place in on the Beverly Hills, which, we didn't get introduced to her until, last night, but it was interesting to see, like, she spoke a lot. So I mean, she had a lot to say. And BravoCon was before any of those allegations about her husband came out.
Exactly.
So, but she was very vocal on the couch. Like, I'm surprised that she doesn't have a diamond and she's not on, because based on the way she was, introduced and had such a big part in that, I assume that she would like have a diamond and everything. So maybe, Candy, you're right. Like, they are getting her out.
Yeah, I think after it came out, that I think they're editing her out less. And I think the reason why she had so much bravado at BravoCon is because she's Kyle's mouthpiece. And even though we, the audience, Kyle has never been a fan favorite and we see through all of it, it's like what Freddie was saying, like the production people and all of those people, they drink their own Kool-Aid. Like they are basically talking to themselves. So they do think Kyle's that girl. That's why she's been like the vanity producer, but not an actual producer. So Annemarie has that bravado because she thinks that, oh, well, I'm in Kyle's pocket, so I'm safe. I'm good. As long as I'm Kyle's mouthpiece, I'm Kyle's friend I'm good. So of course she's going to be vocal and everything. But I wonder what her tune is going to be now that the allegations broke.
And the body language between Kyle and Annemarie were like their BFF at BravoCon.
Exactly.
Like, she was like Kyle. The body language between them was, greater than her and Morgan.
That part, because I think Annemarie actually likes Kyle as like a person, like a friend, right? And so it's more genuine and authentic. And then also, I think that Annemarie was supposed to be introduced either this episode or next episode as having a full-time diamond, because she's in the full cast photos, and she was supposed to be like a new diamond holder. And sometimes they do that. They introduce them later on into the season. They did that with a couple of people before, but I do wonder going forward if they're going to do any type of editing and sort of toning it down. I wonder what that means for Crystal, because I think Crystal's only storyline is beefing with Annemarie. So we'll see what that means for both of them, if that even happens. But we don't even know if they're really going to edit her down or not, because I don't think that the people at Bravo and Evolution and NBC are that sensitive and self-aware about what's really going on until it actually affects them. I mean, think about it. They hired Diana Jenkins knowing the allegations of what she allegedly did, and they can't say they didn't know because they had in the confessional the producer asking her questions about it.
Exactly.
Asking
that she was a
like,
sex trafficker.
Yes. They were asking her questions about it, and she laughed. She's like, you know, and it's just like, so you can't say you didn't know when you cast her, because you did know, because we literally are watching it on episode 3, the producer asking her questions about whether or not she has been, you know, trafficking women, men, and children, you know, all over the place, and she's laughing about it. So they knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
She's
They
so
knew.
scary.
So if they're willing to do that, a person who has been accused of trafficking children, do you really think they care about what Marcus Wiley did? You see what I'm saying? For them, it's all optics. They're just going to think about, well, what is this going to mean for our bottom line?
They literally don't care about morals.
They don't care.
No,
because if they cared, they would never cast somebody with those allegations, convicted or not. No, thank you.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
You know,
that's like before Ghislaine was arrested, like her being a housewife, and then being like, oh,
basically,
we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Very weird. Oof, you guys, we've been on here for almost 2.5 hours.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming. Tonight was lit. Thank you for everybody who
I laughed a lot. I loved it.
Me too.
Thanks.
It was super
See
fun.
you next time.
See you next time, sweetheart. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Renee, for coming up. It was so much fun. Shout out to my amazing panelists tonight. Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Candor. Thank you, Gossip News. Thank you. Did Chels come up tonight? Who else came up tonight? Thank you, Freddie. Kaney. Thank you to everybody who came up. If I missed you, I apologize. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Janet, Sierra, of course, Adam. Shout out to Mims, who's in the chat box as well. Jeannie, Deb, Barbara, Charisma. Who else was hanging out with us? Everybody. Kristen. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Janet. Hey, Rena. Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and put your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about this season. Do you think it's about to jump off? I hope it continues to jump off. I want them to stay on Kyle's neck. And what do you think about Morgan and Kyle? Are they or aren't they? So until next time, guys. Oh, Sarah Content, thank you so much, sweetheart. Janet, thank you so much. Barbara, Rena, Adam, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, love you. Bye.